Okay, finally, we're up. God, sorry about that. I was like not getting notification that we were up. Hi, everyone. GameHounds podcast. We are here. Um, Nick has got a tablet next to him.
I've got. You can see my layout: cat,
Uh-huh.
tablet,
Uh-huh.
keyboard, phones, and a cool little gadget. Actually, I remember that. I'll have to show off what I bought on Prime Day on a
Oh,
whim
nice. All right.
because it
Well,
was
I'll
like
give you
25 bucks.
an idea of a layout. Okay, so I've got, uh well, ignore my dirty coffee table. I got coffee table with a soda, phone. We got TV
No,
on.
you're working on a big TV.
Oh yeah, I got the TV on, ready to go for the Norway game with
Got the
my
ring
ring light.
light. Go Norway.
Go Norway.
Yeah.
Nick and I were talking about at one point in the history of this show, we were like number 4 in Norway. So from that point on, the Ouijas are a part of my heart. And yeah, absolutely, I am. And I'm going to be in New York on the day that they have the final. That's our first day in New York. Is
Oh.
July 19th. And the final is in New Jersey. So
Oh.
I'm actually rooting for the teams that are going to be the best party.
Yeah. What if that's just like take a walk down the street and just find a place with a crowd and just go in there.
Lean in. Yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I have a Yankees game that night,
No.
but
Fuck the
um
Yankees. They have like
I
there's
agree.
there's like 500 baseball games.
Man,
Missing one isn't gonna mean anything.
no, the reason why we're in New York that day is Dodgers versus Yankees. And if
Mm.
you could like think of the like lose-lose situation for me with baseball, there is no winning in that game for me.
Look, you oh god. I can already see it. You ate something bad. You took a bite of a hot dog and it's just not sitting well. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the
I'm
bathroom
just
for a
gonna
second.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think
just
I'm just
just
gonna go back to the hotel room and lie down because I'm really not feeling very
yeah.
good. Yeah, no, I
And
wish
then
I
just
could.
just peace out to a bar. Or you know what? Depending on how it's New York. I'm sure it's like a nice stadium. I'm sure you could find a sports bar in that stadium playing the soccer game.
Well, the soccer game's already gonna be over by the time that the game starts.
Oh,
Actually,
oh,
they
okay, okay.
they had they made the game a Saturday night game. And Chris was like, "Wait a minute, what do you mean a Saturday night game?" And I'm like, "It's a Saturday night game because of the World Cup. They moved it to the night because the World Cup is a day game." And it's like, "Really? They do that?" I'm like, "Yes, the World Cup is in town. It's literally in town. Of course they would do that." So, um, but yeah, I mean, Norway is right up there with the teams I want to see in the final because it's where I want to be with the teams I want to be partying
Oh wait,
with
I'm sorry.
in
I'm
the
sorry.
final.
It's
It's
football.
football. You're right.
It's
It's
football,
football. It's football.
not soccer.
It's football.
Um,
I
but he
agree.
also
It is
he also
football.
says I prefer Dodgers.
Oh, you are
So
banned. Banned. How do
Shohei.
I? Where's the band hammer? I'm in San Francisco. We despise the Dodgers. Everything about the Dodgers, like every cell in their bodies,
Well,
everything to do
the
with that
it's
entire organization, we hate.
the royal we.
The
I
royal
don't
we.
watch baseball. I don't
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't care.
Well, I
Edie's
mean, we.
Edie's hate
It's
is strong enough for the both of us.
yes. Yeah, I take it, but all right. So
He's
the
I'm from
big news.
Bavia says
Yeah,
I'm from India. I love Shohei.
everybody loves Shohei Ohtani. Don't get me wrong. I do think Shohei Ohtani is possibly, if not the greatest ball player of all time, certainly in our lifetimes. No question. No question. Doesn't mean I like him. Doesn't mean I like the Dodgers. Doesn't mean that it just like when I am at a Dodgers game and I'm sitting next to my boyfriend who is a Dodger fan, that there isn't this like enclosing circle of red hate at all times. Like it's just it's certain. Yeah, I
I want them to put
really hate them.
I want them to put you on the kiss cam. up on the stadium and you're just seething with rage at having to be there.
Yes, in every way, shape, and form. We've talked about my hate for Dodgers, but the big news, the big
Yes.
football news today. Ballo. Okay, did you watch the US the US game that we
Yeah,
just
I
played?
saw
Right.
most of it,
Right.
I think.
Okay. So, you saw the red card that was given to Folarin Balogun?
Sure. I
Okay,
don't keep track of the red cards because they've been tossing them out and yellow cards a whole bunch.
yellow cards, right. That's one thing. So,
Yeah.
he at the end, like, not the very end, but certainly in the second half, he committed an unintentional foul that was given a red card. And there was a lot of like, not as much as the Croatian score. That was wrong. But it was like, I don't know if we would have given him a red card. There was definitely some grounds for like saying yellow card, yes, red card, no. Well, see, there's the thing with the red card. Because he got the red card, it means he couldn't play in the next game. He can't play in the round of 16 game. He gets removed from the game that day, and then he's not allowed to play again.
Mm,
And that was a big thing because he is our best player. Well,
mm.
among, I don't know, the best, but he's arguably the best player. Um, this morning at 7
You know
o'clock in the
what? He
morning,
said, Bobby says you can't show your spikes.
you can't show your spikes. Right. Well, it it was completely it wasn't unintentional. That was not what intended to happen. It was anyway, bottom line
What does
is
that mean?
the spikes are the
The
cleats at the
cleats.
bottom of your right. And it was a collision that ended up with him stepping on the foot and ankle of another player.
Mm,
And yellow card, yes, absolutely. Red card is supposed to be reserved for reckless endangerment, something that was like, yes, this was bad, but it red cards are usually given for either something that has happened repeatedly, which this was he went straight to red card, he didn't have a yellow card on him,
mm.
or that it was something that really showed reckless endangerment of another player. And so FIFA this morning actually rescinded the red card. So Ballo can play in the round of 16, which we're going to play tomorrow.
Okay. Okay.
So it's huge, huge news. Huge news.
Yeah, Bobby also specifies 2 yellows gets you a red.
Right, 2 yellows gets you a red. And he didn't have any yellow cards.
Okay. I do remember the last game it was against Paraguay, who was France versus Paraguay. Paraguay was taking so many falls, and there's one time where 2 guys were standing talking to each other, and one guy like put up a hand, and the Paraguay guy, oh, and like when you show it from a different angle, it's clear that it's just like, huh, and then a foot later, the Paraguay guy falls over. But even the announcer said, like, oh, like he must have sold it well enough for the refs because the France guy got a yellow card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all drama.
It's all drama.
It's
Yeah.
it's
There's a pretty good YouTube video of people that are that somebody stitched together falls,
mm-hmm.
but what they did is they put the sound of a sniper rifle behind it, so it looks like they're being sniped,
I will say it's really
and it's pretty
frustrating
funny.
watching like us, and it's like basketball where a strategy is to get fouled. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, if I'm in front of the goal, I'm just gonna run at the ball like a train out of control, and I'm just gonna hope that maybe someone sticks their foot in front of me, and if they do, I'm gonna fall and I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna fall,
Mhm.
even though that's exactly what I want. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, come on, all this intentional fouling is like, don't be a fucking baby. Like, play
Hey,
the game.
listen, games are won and lost on penalty kicks.
Yeah, yeah, they are.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it is a strategy. It is a
It is.
well-established, long-held strategy
It
of
is.
selling the foul.
Ah, it's so lame. I've always remembered something my dad said about why he likes women's soccer better is because they take less falls. The men are like, oh god, I fell. Ah, ah,
Oh,
ah,
oh,
ah,
oh,
huh?
oh.
Oh.
Yeah, girls will take a punch to the face. Women will take a punch to the face. Although they do
And no
starting to
sell
do
it.
that too. They do that
Ah.
too. But yeah, I mean, how to say, a lot of what it is to be a woman is that women can't do that because nobody cares when women get hurt. Like it's like we don't want to be seen as the weaker ones, so we have to take the punch to the face.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, in football, pros barely make unintentional fouls. You should watch European football.
I do
Okay,
well
so
actually, yeah.
yeah, you watch a lot of Wrexham. I guess they do that
Yes.
less so. Okay, that's good.
I don't see that nearly as much in the
Because
EFL. I really don't.
a lot of football I see is the World Cup. Like
Hmm.
that's what I follow.
And I mean, you
Neymar
can
is a
stop me if
dog.
I'm
He does
wrong.
that all the time. Yeah, yeah. I think it was
Yeah.
Neymar or something on the Paraguay team. Says you should
Yeah.
react to Mbappe.
Yep.
Dictator Mbappe means.
I should. I should. The and you can stop me if I'm wrong, but I get the sense that some of this, working it is more dramatic based on different teams in different countries. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the Italians are kind of known for that. I could be wrong,
Like I
like I
said,
said.
Paraguay, the guy like he raised his hand and he's standing a foot away, but he's like, "That's my opportunity. I'm going to flick my head back, arms up, fall down." And it's like, "Oh, you're just silly. You should be like a stunt man. You should be an actor because that's what you're
Yeah.
doing."
It is. There's a certain element of that that is in professional football that is like that. Yeah, yeah. I'm fully agree with you. And we find it amusing in the United States because of course we don't have anything like that in our quote unquote national sports. So,
I mean, no,
um,
like I said, basketball. Basketball's all fucking intentional fouls. The last
true.
2 minutes of a basketball game will last 20 minutes
Right.
because everyone is trying to foul all the time. Or they're trying
Right.
to get fouled.
Trying to get fouls. But at the same time, they aren't like falling down on the ground and grabbing their leg and screaming in
Yeah,
pain.
no, they don't fake it. They just like,
They don't fake it.
I'm just gonna jump up, and if you get in my way, you fouled me.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah.
Straight
He
legit.
says Portugal versus Spain is gonna be crazy. Spain has
Oh,
rarely beaten Portugal. It's
yeah.
all Ronaldo drama, but Spain is one of the favorites. Yes,
Yep.
Spain and France are favorites, but did Paraguay beat Germany, which was also a favorite.
Oh, that that game. That game. And Morocco. Morocco beat
Yeah, basketball and football are very similar.
who did Morocco just beat in round of 32? Who did they just beat? I want to say Switzerland. No, Canada. They beat Canada.
Yeah, Canada was just the other day.
Yeah,
There's
I live for the upsets.
sports.
I mean, I in general don't.
The Cape Verde and
Yeah,
who were they? Brazil or France?
Braz-
No,
no,
Argentina.
Argentina. Yeah.
Yes, that was a good game.
Yeah, yeah. But that's what I love about World Cup is that you have the chance to have these because it's knockout rounds. You have the chance of these fantastic matchups that it by all rights shouldn't be even close, but they end up being fantastic. So
Yeah,
the chance anybody could be upset at any time.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, there
Looking
we got
forward to
stuff
that.
talking about. Yep, we're talking. This is not. When we're talking about GameHounds, we're not talking about the beautiful game. We're talking about video games. But I had to say that
It's
I
all game. It's
sat
all game
down. I
related.
I heard about the rescinding of the red card. It was kind of huge. It's all over television right now. I'm literally watching it. They're just going over it, over it, over it again and again and again because it is kind
Mm.
of big news for us. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be huge. We don't have any
Yeah.
more World
What
Cup
time
in
is
the
it
Bay Area
tomorrow?
anymore. We've had our last game here.
Oh, 5 p.m.
I
Oh,
believe it's
everything
yeah, it's
tomorrow is, yeah, 12 and 5. our
Yeah.
time at least.
Yeah. And the other cool thing about this
That's
particular
good.
World Cup is it's in our time zone. We don't
Yeah.
have to wake up at, 6 o'clock in the morning or 4 a.m. or, stay up late
I'm
until
watching the
11
games
p.m. to
live
watch
instead
something.
of watching a replay and going like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna hit play. I don't want to see the timer on the bottom of the screen because that will say if it goes into extra innings. So I'm like, okay, gotta hold up my hand to block the timer, hit play. Now it goes, and I can't hit pause because if I do, that brings up the timer again.
Yep. And I'm, you know, don't have to avoid Google News
Mm,
or tell it don't show me anything football related during World Cup because that's what we normally have to do.
yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah. Now that I got the Apple Watch, it's like
yeah.
every single time there's a score. Bzzzt.
Yeah, see, you're watching it at 2:30 in the morning. Now you feel
Yeah.
our pain every other year because it's never anywhere near our time zone, ever, except this year. So, let's much appreciated. Yeah, I'm
Also,
sorry.
it's
I'm
like
sorry.
I
But we
think
get
it's
one. You get all the rest.
I also think it is darkly hilarious that 4 years ago when they were playing in Qatar, people were making such a big deal. Oh man, Qatar, it's so fucking hot there. Are they gonna be okay? They're like gonna be playing in triple degree weather. Then they come to the US and it's fucking hot in triple degree weather.
Yeah, we're having a heat wave yeah.
Uh-huh.
But the difference is all of our well, I guess Qatar had air conditioned stadiums, but we have air conditioned stadiums. I mean, we've been getting I'm still addicted to the Europeans come to the United States and find out it's not a shithole after all. Actually find out
Hmm.
we're really, really nice and our food is awesome and our transportation works and our stadiums are gorgeous and beautiful and like people being surprised, like, really,
Depends
this is
on
a
what
thing?
stadium. Depends on what stadium.
Also, finding out that it's not as expensive. I mean, it's expensive for us because we're used to inexpensive stuff. But then again, our portions are, you can feed an entire European family on, one portion of something from a Texas Roadhouse barbecue.
Hmm. Oh wait, what did I say? So many people were crazy about. Oh my god,
Sorry, I'll let you.
I'm putting
Sorry.
it up. You're putting up. So many people were crazy about hand showers instead of toilet paper. You mean like a faucet?
No, it's a bidet. It's a bidet like shower. They have the same
Oh,
thing in
okay.
Bali. Yeah, the toilet has a little, like, like shower neck on it, and
For
you
your
use that
hands?
instead of no.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, what's the hand shower?
You use your hands to give yourself a little zhuzh afterwards.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no. Okay, wait. That coming after the previous comment
Uh,
is
mm,
um
what is it? Oh, the hungry Texas Roadhouse. I hope you're talking about the
oh,
Texas Roadhouse
yes.
barbecue and
Yes.
not the hand showers instead of toilet paper.
Jesus. And from football to scat, let's go to video games.
Sure, let's talk video games. Let's start the show and then we can talk video games. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. And now.
This podcast discusses video games, pop culture, and technology, and these podcasters have big, fat potty mouths.
Oh no.
If you're younger than
No.
18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom said to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds what episode is it? 825. We are recording this on Sunday, July 5th, 2026. I'm Edie Sellers. With me is Nick DiNicola. Did you have a good 4th of July, Nick? Did you do
I
anything
did.
interesting?
Not really.
No?
No.
Oh, why not?
We just stayed in. It's hot.
It's not that,
Yeah.
wasn't that, not hot here. I was
Yeah.
wearing I was wearing a sweatshirt all day. It was cold.
It was hot in our apartment.
Oh, all right.
But
Well, open your
yeah,
window.
I Rachel sewed. I watched football and played games.
I went to go see the Furious.
Oh, you mean one of the best movies of the year?
Yeah, what did I sent a message to my best friend. She and I were texting right beforehand, and I said that we're gonna go see a Chinese. It's Chinese, right?
Um, yes.
Yeah, I think it is Chinese uh, uh martial arts movie. And I said I'll talk to you in a bit. As soon as I got out, I wrote, "Yay, people beating each other to a bloody pulp. USA, USA, USA." That's what I literally wrote to her.
I
Spelled
mean,
Youssay. Um, by the way, movie
did you
recommendation.
like it?
Oh,
It was like
yeah,
just the choreography of that thing is fucking
yeah,
batshit impressive.
yeah, it is. It really is. And there's a fight at the end that goes from a two-way to a three-way fight that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But movie recommendation, if it's still in the theaters, because we had to go all the way down to the Mercado in Sunnyvale to see it.
Oh, I think she was talking about the
The
Furious.
Furious. But
Oh, I don't know where that came from, but yeah, Lumiere theme from Expedition 33 is great. Violence is primal like sex.
hmm
Oh,
and
and the
this was very violent.
Furious is violence porn, and it's
Oh yeah,
awesome.
it's at its very best. But another movie recommendation, by the way, is a movie that is hard to find, but I would recommend you see it. Called The Rose of Nevada.
Hmm.
It's shot entirely on a 16 millimeter film, and
Okay.
it's really good. It's a movie I want to see more than once because I can't quite figure out. Wait a minute, because there's an element of time travel in it, and I can't quite figure out like why he did this and why he did that. It's set in a Cornish fishing village, and it's about a ship that a fishing boat that disappeared and
What
then
is
one
it?
day reappears, called Rose of Nevada.
Nevada. Okay.
The fishing ship disappears and then 30 some odd, 20 some odd years later reappears back at the docks empty.
Hmm.
And it's really cool, but it is hard to like at the end of it you're like, wait a minute, why is this happening or what is like you're not quite sure what happened. So I kind of want to watch it again so I can figure
Is it
out
like
what happened.
is it like a primer in that regard?
Mhm. Yeah, so the thing about this, I'm going to look this up cuz it is British science fiction drama written, edited, composed and directed by Mark Jenkin. It is let's see the camera. It was shot using a Bolex camera from 1976. And he shot everything on 16 millimeter film. So it's got that kind of scratchy old film nature to it. And
Okay.
it's really good. It's really good. But it's a movie you come out and you're going, I mean, I even went to Letterboxd afterwards to look at it and say, okay, what did I see? And I'm reading the reviews of Letterboxd and there's literally long comments. There's even threads on Reddit of like, okay, what happened? What am I reading this wrong? Is this what happened? Ooh, the Royal Belgian Football Association is astonished by FIFA's decision to declare suspended United States player Folarin Balogun eligible to play in the USA-Belgium match on Monday in order to safeguard the legitimate rights of all participating teams and protect the fundamental principles of fair play in our sport. Both this At this FIFA World Cup and at future editions of the tournament, the RBFA is investigating all potential options.
Ah, hang on. Bobby's taking off.
Ooh, hey, see
Bye.
you.
Thank you for
Bye.
joining us for the
Yeah,
football
come on
talk.
back next week. We're here every Sunday, almost every Sunday, when I'm not in New York partying it up with the Ouijas. Hopefully. Um.
So yeah,
So yeah,
Ship the
good
Rose
movie.
of Nevada. Interesting. I will have to check that out. I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
You know what? Oops. You
What
know
did
what
you do?
you don't need to see?
Hmm.
Supergirl.
I
I
didn't want to see it. It
I
did not look good. It did
I
not look
saw
good.
it. I saw it the week before it came out because I really like James Gunn. I
Okay.
vibe with everything James Gunn has made, from Superman, Guardians, even going back to like Slither is
Mhm.
great. He's done some horror movies that are good. He's wrote horror movies that are good. He wrote a movie called Super, wrote and directed, which is like an indie deconstruction superhero with Rainn Wilson and Elliot Page.
Mhm.
And it's like, this is fucked up. But like I love his sensibility. So I'm like excited to see what he does with the DC universe.
Not good, huh?
Hey, you know what? You know what everyone talking about? Oh, this movie's bad. This movie flopped. It deserves all of it.
Oh, really?
It
That
deserves
bad,
all
huh?
of the hate. I came out of it thinking like it's just kind of competent enough that you watch and you're like, well, this is kind of dumb, but okay, move on to the next scene. But then as you start thinking about it afterwards, you're like, wait a minute. This doesn't make any sense. This undercuts the whole premise. This was dumb. This doesn't make any sense. Why? And it's like, who the fuck looked at this movie and thought, yeah, let's release it? Who looked at the script and thought, yeah, this is good. Let's film it. It's fucking terrible on like every possible creative decision.
Yeah, I was not into
Yeah,
it.
it's not a James Gunn movie. But like he's in control of the DC universe.
Yeah.
Supergirl is terrible.
Yeah, Supergirl.
But what's good is Widow's Bay on Apple TV. It's like a horror series, but like it's also really funny. It's about this mayor who's this island called Widow's Bay, and this mayor is like, I want to make our Widow's Bay the next Martha's Vineyard. I want it to be a tourist attraction. But this old fisherman is like, you can't do that. The island is cursed, and if you bring any tourists here, they're all fucked.
Old man Jenkins.
Mm.
I
But
would have
like,
gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
but each episode of the show, but turns out the island really is cursed,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's not a mystery.
Oh, okay.
Each episode is like a different supernatural encounter. So it's like the mayor's like, the hotel isn't haunted. I'm gonna stay there overnight to prove it to you. Naturally, he encountered some spooky shit. Comes out the other side going, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's good. Just lock that one room. Don't let anyone stay in there. But like the rest of the hotel's fine. The rest of the hotel is great. But then another episode is looking at what's happening to his sister and like the supernatural terrible things that she encounters during one night. What does his son encounter? And so it's almost like this episodic anthology format where each episode is a little different mini horror story. But it's really well done. It's got like surprisingly layer of comedy in it because all these people are like, this is really fucked up. What are we gonna do? I don't know. It's like, don't let the undead zombie out of the coffin. He asked
It's
really
in,
nicely.
does
He
that
asked
need
really nicely, and he's been locked up for so long. I already let him out 10 minutes ago. It's like, I will fucking kill you. Why?
So, what other than
Oh,
movies have you been Oh, go ahead.
that was Widow's Bay.
Widow's
It's
Bay.
a
Yeah.
TV series on Apple. And yeah, Supergirl was based off of a comic, which is actually an excellent comic.
hmm Now, as far as games have you been playing? What have you? I'll tell you the two games that I didn't play, even
Okay.
though I purchased them and downloaded them.
Okay.
Hollywood Animal and News Tower, which were two
Mm,
games that were recommended to me by you guys last week because I wanted to put them on the Steam Deck. They don't work on the Steam Deck.
they don't.
No, no.
But even if it's a mouse control, the Steam Deck has a touchscreen.
Yeah, but requires a lot of at least. I mean, I have to dive into it a little deeper. But the first thing I encountered was buttons weren't working properly.
Mm,
Um, the it really wants to have a keyboard. So like, you're hitting buttons and you're getting F F F X X X X A. It's like you have to pull up the soft keyboard to do stuff. It's I'm gonna have to pardon me. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of more digging to see if I can get them to reasonably play. But me just putting them on and trying to even just boot them up was a challenge. So I'm gonna have to find a different game that is good for the Steam Deck for the trip to New York. But I'll still work on it. I also did buy The Witcher.
mm.
So I guess I could play The Witcher 3 again. But I don't know if I really want to play the whole game
I
again.
only played it. I only played it once and I never beat it. I want to go through it again.
Yeah, I do too. But at the same time, I sort of don't because I love that game so much. I'm afraid to go back to old
Mm,
games. And I think this is reasonable. How many times have we gone back to old games that we absolutely loved and been like, I really wish I hadn't done that because it was such a good game and now I see it in a different light, in a different time, different technology, and I'm so disappointed in it. It
I
doesn't work that great.
I actually think you will have the opposite experience with The Witcher 3.
You know?
I think that The Witcher 3 was like a graphically impressive game when it came out. I don't think graphics have advanced all that much since then. So it's not like me going back to Shadow of the Colossus on PS2. Um, like The Witcher 3 holds up visually, especially with all of the updates that they've gone to the game. I remember when it first came out, people had issues with the combat, they had issues with the movement, they had issues with the inventory, but all of that has been patched and made better in the intervening years. So
Hmm.
I think you'll come into it and think, wow, this game plays better than I remember because you probably played the pre-patch version and it looks just as good as I remember. And the writing will not change. Like the
True.
writing
And
is
the
going to
writing is
be
amazing.
good regardless of the time.
Right.
So I think going back to it, that's one of the reasons I'm excited to go back to it is because I think it will hold up very well.
All right. Well, I mean, maybe that'll be the thing that I play, but the downside of The Witcher is that you can't just kind of play it a little bit and then save and walk away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the airplane trip, but I don't know that it would be good to have it, elsewhere.
What do you do after the airplane trip?
Yeah. All right. So tell me what
AC
you
Wraith
played.
AC Wraith has been enjoying the old school return of Assassin's Creed Mirage. I miss the Saboteur's choice of climbing grips. Each enemy has both moves to parry and moves to dodge. Otherwise, I like it.
Hmm.
I've heard good things about Mirage. Well, first off, I got something from Amazon during Prime Day called the Pocket Taco. And it's called that because it's like a little taco.
Uh-huh.
It opens up. See? Boop.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You can take that, slip it on your phone, and you turn it into a little Game Boy.
Oh, wow. That's kind of cool. By the
Oh,
way, you're
oh, oh,
freezing on my screen. There
oh,
you
I
go.
am.
Oh my gosh, yeah, but that might just be me.
Oops. And the thing is, there are different skins for this emulator that are like made for the Pocket Taco. This one kind of cuts off the bottom of the screen a little bit because I haven't got the right skin. Oops. But yeah, so that's got me down a rabbit hole of, okay, I'm gonna get some 3DS games on this emulator. I'm gonna put some DS games on this emulator. I'm gonna have a Game Boy on my phone with Game Boy controls.
That's kind of cool. How much was the Pocket Taco?
I think normally it's 40 to 50, but on Prime Day it was like 25. And so that's when I thought, "Oh, this is pretty awesome. I'm absolutely going to get this." Because I had seen it
Oh
before.
no! It's on sale. You can get it for $30.
Okay, yeah, $30. What is it normally?
Let me pull this up. I can share it on my screen so that you can see it. Um, yeah, it's normally, what is it?
Yeah,
$44.99.
$44.
It's on sale for 34, but you have a coupon price of $29.99.
Okay, yeah, I got it for $30. And it's cool. It comes with this little carrying case that you like slip it into, and it's got a little string. So it's made to be portable. And I'm like, "Oh,
That's kind of cute. That's
this is
kind of cool.
awesome. I'm going to keep this in my laptop bag so that I always have it with me at work."
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal, actually.
Yeah, I was surprised at how well
Oh,
it worked too.
I love Amazon. You have the Pocket Taco, Game Sir Pocket Taco, Game Sir Pocket Taco, Old El Paso Tortilla Pockets, Pocket Taco,
Emotional support taco.
Starkist Beef Creation Taco Style. It's, yeah, you gotta love Amazon. Um, yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. I might want to pick that up for my trip. That could be
Yeah.
just kind of something I carry around. AC
When I
Ray says,
carry the
why not
Odin
carry
2.
the why not carry
Oh,
the Odin 2? What's the
because
difference?
the Odin 2 is bigger. That's all. It's just
Okay.
bigger. The Odin 2, this requires games to play on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think the iPhone I don't think it's as powerful as the Android in the Odin phone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the Odin is like a blockbuster videos of games because I have everything from like NES to PlayStation 2 on that thing. This is just like, okay, I want to put some I want a portable system, right? I want Game Boy games, DS games, that type of thing. But yeah, I could just carry the Odin everywhere. But like I said, it's a little bit bigger. It's smaller.
Yeah. Um. All right.
Yeah.
So,
As for actual
what
games,
games did you play?
um,
Games.
so I bought a bunch of stuff on the Steam summer sale.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, some of which I've bought with the hope and expectation of playing it on a Steam machine, and I still haven't gotten an email to purchase the Steam machine. So everybody in line ahead of me, like, come on, man, you get the email, you can now buy it, and you have 3 days to do it. You don't need 3 days to figure out if you're going to get it or not. You know if you're going to get it or not. So shit or get off the pot, get through the queue so that I can get up because I do want it and I want to play some games that I bought on it on my TV. But one that I played on the handheld was Ultros, Ultros. And I was just browsing and I saw this game and it looked like a really cool psychedelic trip. So I thought for $5, absolutely, I will give this a shot. Um, and it's kind of a Metroidvania roguelike, not really roguelike, but Metroidvania roguelike is a easy, quick and dirty, kind of inaccurate summary of it. But it's also like those are two genres that I normally don't like, that I normally don't enjoy a whole bunch, but I wanna see what it's like. What's interesting about this game is, at least for the most part, how much it avoids all of the frustrations I have with those two genres for a long time. So, one of the things I don't like about roguelikes is just the repetition, and specifically the repetition of the first area. It's like, okay, I'm going to do this first area over and over and over again. And with Metroidvanias, I'm always frustrated by uh, the beginning of the game is defined by what you can't do. So I'm going down a hallway and I see a ledge. Oh, I can't go there. I'm going down a hall and I see a door. I can't open it. I see a gap. I can't jump over it. I'm constantly encountering things I can't do. This game, it revolves around cycles, but the cycles aren't the story driven, not death driven. So it's not a roguelike in that regard. You start off in one area, and as you explore, you get a weapon, and then you get a tool, and that tool lets you double jump and do other things. And then once you get to a boss and you defeat the boss, that's when the cycle starts over. If you happen to die at the boss, you just reload before the boss. So it's not like you're constantly replaying the same section of the game every
Oh,
time you
nice.
die.
Okay.
It's story driven. You defeat a boss and the cycle begins anew. Then I have to get the sword again, go through the opening area, get my tool, then I can start exploring to defeat another boss. But the way the game is structured is really impressive in that for at least the first several cycles, you're not going through the same areas over and over again. You'll go through one area, and then when you start again, you'll kind of have a door open up, and that will guide you into this whole other level that eventually culminates with a boss that starts to cycle over. But then you'll go and the game will suddenly guide you into this third area. So each cycle, even though you're starting over, you're not playing through the same areas again and again. It's like constantly pushing you towards new areas. And so that keeps the game feeling fresh, that even though you're starting over, it doesn't feel like you're repeating things over and over again because the game is smart in pushing you towards new things rather than forcing you to replay old things.
Hmm.
And that's really, really cool. Um, and it kind of all culminates in like the fourth or fifth cycle where very quickly a guy just gives you a sword and your tool. And so all of a sudden you get to skip that whole beginning section. And it's like, oh, this is awesome. And then you start going through uh at that point the level has opened up enough that you do start exploring places you've been before. But then it introduces this idea of a network, because you wake up on this what they call a sarcophagus, and it's a sarcophagus of ultros, and every time the cycle begins anew, that's basically ultros waking up, and then time resets. And I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but I'm trying to stop this cycle. I'm trying to stop Ultros from waking up, but I'm constantly encountering this lady who says, "Oh, it's my destiny to guide Ultros to wake up." But all the stuff I can do is the stuff she's supposed to be able to do. So if when I get the tool that lets me double jump and I meet her, her reaction is, "Wait, how are you able to do that? I'm the chosen one. I'm supposed to be able to do this." Um, but in the like last cycle, you start connecting things together. It's like you go down to the bottom of the level and you turn on this power generator. And that lets you take like tentacles up to connect to flowers, which is a whole other mechanic I'll get into. But you connect to a flower, then another flower, then a statue, and that statue opens a door to give you access to other levels and shortcuts. And from there, you kind of really open up the world. But as you start connecting things, if you connect that tentacle to a save point, that save point gets added to the fast travel network. So, like mid to late game, you basically start constructing the internet where it's like, okay, I'm going to take a cable and try to find a way to connect it around here, um, to bring this whole thing online. And it's a really cool system. Unfortunately, I think where it runs into some problems is it has this interesting growth mechanic. A lot of the game is driven by flowers and plants. There's like a whole growing system where you'll find patches of soil that allow things to grow. And you have a whole bunch of different seeds. And depending on what seed you plant, a different type of plant will grow. Maybe it will be a bunch of vines that if you hang them from the ceiling, you can swing off of them. which can help you get someplace. Maybe
Mhm.
one of the plants grows tall and forms a platform so that you can jump on it. Other plants let you run really fast or let you run up walls. Other plants just give you food because food relates to the level up system, which is this whole other thing that I'll get into. Um, but what's kind of annoying about that is the game doesn't really explain how all of this planting system works. And the truth is that you can plant the wrong seed in a location. And oh, that seed is not actually going to help you get access to this area. You need to plant a different seed there. It's like, well, okay, I didn't know that. Late in the game, you get access to a tool that allows you to extract that seed. But like, I kind of want access to that tool earlier in the game because if I'm planting stuff and then realizing I planted the wrong thing, I don't want to have to constantly remember where did I plant that wrong seed and do I really want to go all the way back there to try and plant a different seed?
Right.
Because just planting the seed isn't necessarily enough. Sometimes it needs compost to grow, and compost is this whole other limited resource that you need, but it's kind of hard to find. And so there's a whole system of like, oh, this plant is really cool, but I would love the ability to plant the seeds, extract the seeds, and use compost to grow them earlier in the game. Give me those all at once so that I'm not, that the question isn't, oh, do I need to go back to this location to plant another seed? Let me freely experiment with seeding them and growing things from the beginning instead of stretching it out over a long period of time and making it more of a hassle to experiment. Like this experimentation is so key to figuring this stuff out, but it feels like until you get to that to late game time, it kind of punishes you for experimenting if you do it wrong.
Mhm.
So the level up system is its whole other thing because if you look at this video, there are like little columns. So it's like a bar graph, and it's like, oh, one's red, blue, green, and orange. Different things, different food that you eat increases different bars in that graph. And I do think it's a little bit to the game's detriment that even this far into it, I don't really know what blue means. I don't really know what yellow means. I just know that's like, yeah, red, blue, green, and orange. But different foods increase those graphs, and different skills in your skill tree require different levels of those graphs. So a lot of times I'm like, I've got a ton of red, green, and orange, but I need blue. I don't know where to get a blue food, so I can't get these upgrades. Um, and so that's in itself is just an interesting new type of leveling where
Mhm.
you're using these seeds to not only grow platforms to get to different areas, but each of those plants gives you different food that you can then eat. But killing enemies also gives you different food. So it's just a unique system, and that's why I wish that it spent more time explaining its system because it is unique. It's different from anything else you've played. And it's really cool once you get into it, but also takes a lot of effort on the player's part to get into it. Um, there is a whole system of you can find things that will let skills persist over cycles. So you're not constantly restarting the leveling up over and over again. But what I also found is that a lot of the skills I get in the skill tree don't really seem all that useful. It's like, oh, some of them
Yet.
if I don't even know if they work. One of them is like, oh, when you plant seeds, you can throw them. And that's useful because some guns are on the ceiling. And it says like, oh, there's a throw button. But what's the throw button? I go
Doesn't tell
into
you
the
what the button is?
I go into
Oh.
options, settings, look through the settings. There is no throw button.
Oh, interesting.
I don't even know what the throw button is. So a lot of the skills they're just not that useful. And I don't even know if some of them work. But it's a cool system of like leveling up based on plants, which level up different skills. The structure of the game is so thoughtful and unique in how it kind of takes the elements of a Metroidvania and a roguelike, but avoids all of the downsides to those, except that at the part where I stopped playing, uh, I had just brought a whole bunch of stuff online using the network. But in order to continue exploring the world, I had to start a new cycle. And I thought, oh, I don't want to start a new cycle. I've got all my abilities. I've got my gadgets, but I can't explore the world until I start the new cycle. And when I started the new cycle, that guy who previously was there to just give me my gadgets easy peasy wasn't there. And so I'm in the starting area going, okay, I need to, if I'm going to get my gadget, I need to get to point B. I'm at point A. Let me look at the map. And I will say the map is absolutely incredible. It's probably the best map of any Metroidvania game I've played because the map is a 100% recreation of the level down to the plants. If you plant a specific seed in an area, if you zoom in on the map, you can see exactly what plant that you planted there. You can see it's just the game shrunk down onto map size, which is so great for, trying to figure out where to go. So many Metroidvania games abstract the map out in a way that I just find irritating as hell. So this doesn't do that. But I'm looking at the map thinking, okay, if I'm going to get back to my gadget, I'm going to have to go down this area. I'm going to have to go through the whole starting area. Oh, but I can't get through that area. So I'm going to have to go through this whole other area to go through that. And I'm like, oh man, I'm going to have to spend 30 minutes to an hour just to get back to where I was before, to where I can start having fun again. And then I thought, oh, that's what I don't like about
That's what
these
I don't like
games.
about these games.
And I
Yep.
was like, oh, damn it. Do I really want to keep going? I don't know. And that's where I stopped playing for now. I don't know if I'll go back to it because I did buy a lot of other games. But like
It
this is a
looks gorgeous.
cool.
My God, this game is
Yes,
good looking.
that's what made me buy it is because
It's like playing a
oh,
Sergeant Pepper's, Lonely Hearts
yeah.
Club
Or I was thinking heavy metal.
animation
Like
or
the old
heavy
heavy
metal.
metal movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It's
that
insane.
kind of
It's
like hand-drawn
gorgeous.
psychedelia.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I
So yeah,
mean, I might pick it up. I'm not a big Metroidvania fan, but I might pick it up.
it's a really cool game that's got a ton of really great ideas, and it's like it's a good game to play for people that play a lot of games because I think one of the things I appreciate about it a lot is how different it is and how it takes familiar concepts but twists them in very unique ways. Uh, and so in that regard, I deeply appreciate a lot about its design. But if you're just looking for like a fun game to play, I think it's a fun game to play, but I don't know if like you'll get that deep appreciation of, oh, the level design is so impressive. Oh, the structure of the cycles is so impressive. Like the stuff that I'm really excited by is not like the gameplay, which is good. It's decent, but it's not the thing that I think makes this game stand out.
Sorry, looking at a penalty. It's going to the VAR.
I'll have to
Oh, yeah.
put on
Are we gonna get a red
put on the
card out of
game.
this? Yeah, it was one of the Norwegian players
Yeah, he tripped the Brazil.
tripped to Brazil but kicked him while tripping, which,
I mean, you
I
have
guess
to kick
Brazil
while
got it.
tripping.
Yeah. I mean,
You can't trip someone without kicking them. Tripping is
well,
by
there's
definition.
well, you can put your foot in front of somebody and trip them, but I don't know if they'll show it again, but he actually kicked into his shins to trip him. Kicked hard. There you go.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
anyways, that's Ultros. Really cool game. The type of game that you only experience during the Steam summer sale because I'm just browsing for cheap games
Yeah,
and I'm
which
like,
you never
oh,
would have picked it
hey,
up.
it's $5. Yeah, sure, I'll check that out.
All right, I might pick that up for $5 because that's actually I'm not a I hate Metroidvania games,
Yeah.
but
Well,
that's looks like it might be that that's a perfect game for me to sit on a plane and learn to love a
I will say
Metroidvania game.
then to recommend a different game for you, and I
Hmm.
think one you already bought, Mini Shoot Adventures.
I don't know that I bought it.
Okay, that is a much better. That's more Zelda-like than Metroid-like. Uh, but that's a game that I would just rank higher.
Hmm.
It doesn't look as cool, but it plays really really awesome.
Oh, blocked. Penalty kick blocked. Norway lives to play another day. AC Wraith asks, which games in UFO 50 did you play?
Oh my god,
What
I
is
don't
UFO? Wait a
remember.
minute. What is UFO 50?
Okay, I guess I'll talk about UFO 52. UFO
Yeah.
50 is a game I've been kind of dabbling with off and on for a while. It's the concept is amazing. It's a collection of fake
Oh,
games
that's
from the
right.
1980s. And
Yes, you talked about that.
it's 50 games from a fake retro console, charting the course of that console like through a couple generations. Um, and it's really neat. And some of the games are like really fucking clever. A lot of the games, and this is the game that made me realize a lot of retro games, they kind of fucking suck.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's
they do.
such a pain in the ass. If I was born any earlier, I don't know if I would be a gamer. Like I I grew up with the Nintendo 64. I had a Sega Genesis, but like it was just a toy. The PlayStation and the N64 were really what got me into gaming. If I had to play NES games, I don't know if I would have gotten into gaming. Like if
Hmm.
I had to play a game like this as a kid, I might have gotten into sports. God
Nick,
forbid.
Nick, not only that, we had to pay a quarter every time to play it.
Oh,
Yeah, we actually had to pay
yeah.
real money standing at a Circle K hours just to get even remotely good, like multiple dollars after dollars after dollars of our parents' money or money that we made from turning in found um what's the word I want? Bottles.
Well, anyways.
Turning the bot. Sorry, I'm looking at this and
Oh yeah,
watching it. Yeah,
recycling.
turning it,
Recycling.
recycling the bottles. You'd
Oh
find a
jeez.
bottle behind, like the Circle K, and then you could turn it in for a dime, and it would take three of them, and then you could get a quarter so that you could sit and play for 3 seconds before you died, so that you can get that much better and get
Hmm.
that just a little bit farther. Yeah.
Yeah, Conker's Bad Fur Day for the win as one of the best N64 games ever.
Yep.
I love Conker.
Oh, the ads for that, it would never make it today.
Oh yeah,
Anyway, it
they
looks
were
like
very
fun
90s.
because
So
you end up spent playing a lot of different games and not being committed to any of them.
yes, and some of the games are really clever, and I imagine if I invested the time to get into it, it would be really cool. There's this one game where it's like a platformer, but every action you do costs a life. It's like uh you start off with like 50 people in a ship and they
Mhm.
parachute off of the ship and you can either send them out as a missile and they'll like smack into a wall to become a platform and die. It's like how many people can you sacrifice to get through the level? This is it. This is the one.
Oh, I got lucky.
Yeah. So like he can't jump over this thing. He's gonna have to he blew himself up to see if that works. Now he stuck himself into a wall in order to build a platform, but it's too high. So this other guy has to become a platform as well. But like those are all those people are now dying when they do this. So okay, you have top right, you have the guy just fucking quit out. Um, but yeah, you only have so many lives that you can do. It's like, okay, you start off with 20 lives. that means you kind of have 20 actions to get through this level. And so the more you play, the more you kind of streamline your actions, right? It's like, oh, he spent 6 people to try to figure out how to get past this one jump. Now he only spent 3 people to get past this jump. Well, okay, he's spending more because this is a terrible player. This guy
Yeah.
is just slaughtering his people. But it's a cool concept. But in order to get the most out of it, I would have to replay it a lot, and I didn't want to invest that much time into it. Um, the game that I spent a lot of time playing is this game called like Heroes of Discus or something like that. And it's basically a turn-based strategy game with almost like marbles, has a turn-based strategy game where you're on a grid and you kind of choose how you move about it and you recruit people. You can recruit ogres, which are these big discs, or you can recruit rats, which are little tiny discs, but the rats get 2 moves. The ogres can stun. You can recruit a knight that gets 2 moves. But all of these different discs, you then go into battle with the AI and you do like marbles. Well, I'm going to flick my disc at your guy to try to do damage. And depending on what happens, you win, and the other guy goes back to his base. And then you can kind of advance your army a little bit further, recruiting more guys as you go along. He rebuilds his army and meets you again, and you fight it out. It's a really cool concept. Part of it is just like, hey, it's a turn-based game, and that's my jam. So I got into it really quickly. And that one is probably the game I played the most of. But so far, out of 50 games, I've tried out like maybe 7 because, you put 10 minutes in a game and 7 games, that's like an hour. That's 70 minutes. But if I
Hmm.
put an hour into one game, well, fuck, if I put an hour into all of these games, that's 50 hours right there.
Hmm.
So putting it definitely Nick has to explain the concept of game lives. We used to only get 3. It's not the lives in Mortal, that game I'm talking about, is
Hmm.
not the same as the lives in Mario. Because in Mortal, you lose a life when you get hit by an enemy, but you also lose a life when you create a platform. You're
Hmm.
constantly sacrificing your
You're
lives
sacrificing the lives in order to
in
get
order to
past
change
obstacles.
in order to change the level in a way that subsequent lives can get past it. So it's not just an obstacle that you're trying to
Right. To create a
overcome.
platform or to disable an enemy or do something like that. That,
Yeah.
yeah, so that when you come back in the next one, that enemy isn't there or that platform is created that allows you to be able to pass by that, get to beyond that point.
Yeah. So it's really cool. I want to keep digging into the different games to find one because I really like that discus game.
Hmm.
Um uh and AC Wraith says, I want it for all the Metroidvanias Nick will hate. And I want to encounter some of those Metroidvanias. I know that those RPGs, like full-fledged story-driven RPGs that are, 30 hours long.
Hmm.
Yeah, he says it's number 3 on my wish list. I don't know why I put the Steam controller at number 1. And then Ezio says, and I think he's talking about Conquer. It had one of the most memorable bosses ever. I don't know if we're going to talk about the same guy, but the boss I've always remembered from Conquer is the steel furnace with the steel balls that you have to smash between 2, I don't know, bricks. You're fighting like a big furnace, and if you kind of knock it out, it falls over, and its testicles are there, and so you run over and just smash its testicles with some bricks. I've always remembered that boss fight from Conquer.
Anyway, this looks like a fun game. This actually might be fun for me to pick up.
Yeah, it's cool. Oh, he says I was thinking of the pile of poo filled with corn. Look, man, Conquer is nothing but memorable boss fights. But yeah, UFO 50. Um, there's 50 games in it. Some hit, some miss. But it also takes a lot of investment and a lot of time to figure that
Now,
out.
Can
I did
you can
realize.
you can just play any of those games as long as you want to, or do you
Oh
have to
yeah,
like? Oh, okay.
no, you can quit out at any second.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Um, and at first, I started playing with the first game, and then went to the second game and the third game. But that's when I realized a lot of these are like NES games, and I kind of don't like them. I'm gonna jump ahead to the last row to like the most advanced games and start playing there. And I found those to be much more enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah, now you know why Gen X
Oh,
is the way we are. That's why we know we're not anything special.
interesting. He says, and I guess there are unlisted games.
Oh, really?
Interesting. What is neat is that Mortal game you saw where you sacrifice people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sequel. There's a sequel to that
Really?
game within the collection that takes that concept and like advances it in a really interesting way. And so it's really cool to see like a trilogy of games across this time. Like, oh man, you started there and you advanced there and you did that. It's so
And then it's all fake too, on
it's
top of
all
that.
they're
It's
all
all
fake.
fake.
It's all fake. All of these games were made specifically for this collection.
That's kind of cool.
But every game has a little like Wikipedia entry that's like, oh, this game was made by Bob Crow, one of the founders of UFO Soft, and it was his first game he made in his basement. Like
So they
little
actually created a
history items
backstory,
for
on
every
the game.
game.
That's kind of cool. All right. Uh, any other games you want to talk about before we hit the news? Because there's a lot to talk about,
Yeah,
and
no,
all of
that's
it
it.
is bad. All of it is bad.
Yeah, that's why we don't have to rush to get to it.
No, we do. We kind of do. I mean, let's just get it. Let's like
But
a
yeah,
band-aid.
no,
Just pull it off.
I want to. I bought more things on the Steam sale that I'm really looking forward to playing.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna absolutely do all that. But yeah, I read about it. Apparently, there's a 51st game you can unlock.
Ooh, the hidden
Okay.
51st game. That
I
is
mean,
that is also very retro.
I haven't even
The
played
secret
10
level.
of the 50, so I've got a ways to go.
All right. Well, let's you ready for the news?
Yeah.
Let's hit the news.
This
This is the GameHounds news, the news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with gamer Edie and Nick DiNicola. And our first item is, you know what? Let's hit our first item, and you can introduce it, and it
Okay.
should be above the fold. Nick, do not.
Okay. No.
Okay,
I
stop being an author and start being a news person.
I think it's really funny that for the past several weeks we've been like, boy, Xbox is just fucking things up. They're going to lay off a whole bunch of people. They just cannot get out of their own way fucking things up. God, this company, come on. And meanwhile, PlayStation, for the most part, is just sitting back. We may have closed the studio here and there, but we're doing great.
We're doing
And
fine.
then, just coincidentally, a week after Sony removes 500 movies from a digital storefront,
Oh God, they couldn't have timed that worse.
PlayStation announces that they will end creating physical discs in 2028, which is a big deal because I didn't realize that all the physical discs that you get on PlayStation, whether it's from EA or Ubisoft or any indie game, all those discs are manufactured by Sony. They're not manufactured by the developer or publisher. It all comes from Sony. So what that means is when Sony stops making discs,
Everybody.
everyone stops making discs. At least on
Mhm.
PlayStation, no one has any disc. And what that also means is that means no more PS4 discs. And I don't know if they're still making PS4 games, if there's like still some, factory pumping those out, but like there's no more discs
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I feel guilty.
I have not played those. I will check those out.
I feel guilty because from the moment that digital downloads happened, I was like, absolutely love digital downloads, think it's the greatest thing ever. Because the whole time, you buy a game and you think to yourself, they could take it away, but they never would. They never would.
Mm-hmm.
And then last week they did. They took out they removed 500 movies, not just from being available, removed them from people who purchased those movies, removed it
Yeah.
from their libraries, their own libraries, so that it's like, oh no, you didn't actually own that movie. You owned the license to play that movie, and we have revoked that license. By the way, more are probably coming because I don't know if you remember, there was a scare that Sony was going to have the same problem with Discovery Channel stuff, with Discovery Channel IPs. And they worked at the last minute at the 11th hour because so many people were screaming bloody murder when they announced about a month before it was supposed to happen. They they announced that they were not that they had worked out a deal for, I forget, it was like 90 days or 100 300 days or whatever it was. Well, that ended again. So we're probably going to lose more. You, not me, but you. Well, maybe me. I don't know how many Discovery Channel IPs I have. But if you have Discovery Channel stuff in there in your library currently, those could also disappear. Bottom line is that the whole time it's like, yeah, it's in the agreement, but they'd never do that. They could never do that. It would be horrible if they do that. It would be company killing if they did that. Well, they did that. And now a week later, they announced that game discs are not going to be discontinued, which means not just all any discs, all PlayStation discs. All of a sudden, the worst case scenario, the it'll never happen that I have been saying for the last 15, 20 years has happened. It is the apocalypse for games. And it's terrifying that and it brings up an important point. I mean, this is so bad. This is so bad for Sony. And I don't know that Xbox normally in the other world, you could say, well, Xbox will never do that. But the thing is, I think Xbox will. And then you
Oh,
have
yeah.
Steam
Yeah.
now. But what is Steam other than exactly that?
Yeah. Steam is all digital.
Steam
PC.
is all
PC is
digital.
all digital.
PC's all digital. It's all digital. There are no alternatives to what this is. And
And
I
so
feel
I
like
don't
I've
I
been led down into a trap where it's like, "Oh no, we'll never do that. We'll never do that. We'll never do that." And meanwhile, all the alternatives that could stop this or be an alternative to this happening have slowly disappeared over the years. And now the doors have closed behind me and I realize, "Holy shit, it's a trap."
So I don't think it's an apocalypse. And I think that AC Wraith brings up a good point. He says, right once media is trash. Digital is still best, but you need a service you can trust like GOG or Bandcamp.
Right.
And like I've bought a ton of stuff
Until
on
they
GOG or
change their
Bandcamp.
terms of service, until
True,
they change it, because they
true.
can change it at any
But
time.
but the point is that, like you said, PC is all digital. Um, so we've gone down this road already of a platform being all digital, and it hasn't been an apocalypse. Um, so I don't think it's not the destruction of the games industry. But I do think that it's, and I said this last week, most of what I buy, 99% of what I buy is digital because it's convenient and because
Mhm.
like unlike other mediums, there is no real advantage to a physical game. It's not like vinyl where you have a different sound. It's not like a 4K Blu-ray where you get a better picture than even 4K streaming.
Mhm.
Other media physical versions have a definite, noticeable, tangible advantage to streaming, but streaming or digital, but games don't. If anything, a digital version of a game runs better than a physical version of the game because you're not
Mhm.
reading it from the disc.
Right.
Um, and that's why, like, we've all gone down this path already. And like you talking about, you feel like the doors closed behind you, but like you've already walked through those doors, and like we happily walked through those doors. Remember when Microsoft when Xbox tried to do this a decade ago with the Xbox One, people rightly freaked out, and that's what lost them that generation and was kind of the beginning of the end of their downfall. Um, but it's been a decade of digital games slowly overtaking everything else. And I feel like what this really represents is nostalgia for a time that doesn't exist anymore. Like,
No, 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 no. I think you and I have. I mean, here it is, Mister. You're Mister Disc. I've been Miss Digital, and I think the roles have just reversed. What this is an assault on ownership
yes, no, it is that. It is that.
because you will
But
don't own those games.
I'm saying you also didn't own the physical game. Those were still licenses. And like, if anything, this this highlights how all of the issues that we have with like ownership in digital and everyone owning a license rather than a copy, that has been persistent for the past 30 years, ever since Apple started selling MP3s, ever since Amazon took 1984 off of people's Kindles 30 years ago.
Uh-oh.
An issue that has always been there.
I disagree. I disagree that you can, if you own a disc, you own the disc. You can play that disc.
In theory, like, yes, you can, but you can also, like,
And
companies
if
can
you
brick
own
a
an
disc.
MP3, if you own an MP3 on your library, they can't take that MP3 away from you if you are playing it directly from your hard drive into your MP3 player.
It depends. It depends.
Now,
You
the
can,
AAC stuff, yes. Stuff that
yes.
is in your Apple library, Apple Music, absolutely they can stop. But if you have
Now,
the physical file with the physical information in it and you put it into an MP3 player, no one can take that away from you. It's
yes.
like ripping your own physical CD onto your hard drive. No one can
And you can
reach into your hard drive to take it away from you.
still do that with Apple Music. Like, you can take the Apple library, convert it to MP3, and keep it as
Hmm.
there. I have taken, because I've spent
As you should.
hundreds of dollars on Comixology. And then Comixology got bought by Amazon, and everything is now on Kindle. Um, I have taken all of those data files of comics that are in a, special proprietary Amazon format and like copied them to my hard drive so that I have backups of all of those things, because Amazon has proven they will absolutely just shut a system down. They will
Hmm.
just shut Comixology down at some point and say, "Hey, sorry, you can't read any of these things anymore." But like, I've created all those backups. But like, that's an issue with digital ownership. And if anything, I think this outrage is a conversation we should have had
Yes.
20 years ago.
We
And the fact
want that
that
people did have 20 years ago, but nobody
no, they
was
didn't.
listening.
No,
Yeah, they did. I
it
mean, I
wasn't
had these
big.
exact arguments with Hawks. I had these exact arguments with Hawks, is they can take it away. And I said they would never do that. It would be absolutely foolish for them to do it. They would never be able to do it because then it would be an absolute revolt. The thing is that they've done it now and they will do it.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like the trap behind me has closed because the whole time I'm like, they would never do that. That would be an absolute death knell to their company. The thing is that they have now, technology has now progressed, the world has now progressed where there are no alternatives, there are no discs, they're doing this all at once for a reason. This is the sound of the trap closing behind you. This is the snap right before the mousetrap lands on your neck. This is it. This is the thing that everybody warned me against, and I said it would never happen because it was too stupid. They would never be so foolish to do it. And I did not realize that they were setting up the stage for, okay, now it has happened. What were all of those things that you were going to do? Oh, well, I would make sure that I would do this, or I would do that, or I would have these alternatives. It's like all those alternatives don't exist anymore. They got rid of those before they snapped the trap.
Well, what you do is you create digital backups
Right.
because you can do that. Create digital backups and take your console offline.
Well, here's an interesting conversation that I heard on another podcast. So,
Oh
all
yeah,
right,
hey, AC
obviously,
Wraith says retro fanatics will still collect all the games, make YouTube videos about them, and form communities. Nick will just emulate. Like
mhm.
there is that option out there. And for comics, he says he's heard a good thing about Global Comics has an
So
alternate app.
you
Yeah,
bring up emulation, and
he says yeah,
that is a
you
thing that okay,
don't need discs. You need to back up your crap on any storage device. Current new storage concerns aside. Yeah,
right.
you've got a bunch of hard drives.
I do. But if and well, I mean, and they have to be played on an emulator because you won't be able to play them on your console because your console is not going to
Not
allow them to be
necessarily,
played.
because like I said, you take a console offline, then
True,
you
you can
can
take
play
it
a
off.
game
Unless it
there.
says it's a game that's supposed to be online that checks
Well,
in.
most of what I have doesn't need that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's the thing. They have laid all of these like, will you just do this? Will you just do that? They've laid enough little traps along, like a little things, landmines along the way that those things are not really available anymore. And consider going into the future. Into the future, you're not going to be able to do that because they're phoning home all the time. So it brings up an interesting conversation that I heard on a different podcast. I can't remember which podcast, sorry. That if well, I'm looking at other stuff that I should bring up first. So really, the only alternative that players have now for games past and current and into the future, unfortunately, is piracy. That's the only place that you will be able to get your games and know that your games are your games and you can play them. Piracy and emulation.
It's not technically, if there's no such thing as ownership, there's no such thing as
Exactly. That's
piracy.
exactly. If there's no such thing, if buying isn't owning, then is piracy theft.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that you are going to see a huge, huge spike because piracy really has fallen off compared to what it was
Yes,
20 years ago
because you
because
know
we
what
haven't needed it.
piracy is. Well, what
Right.
piracy is it's a convenience thing. What
Right.
killed Napster wasn't the RIAA, it was Apple.
Mm-hmm.
What
Right.
killed video game piracy was Steam.
And there was also this feeling of piracy's wrong because you're stealing from people that are working very
You
hard
wouldn't
on these
steal a car,
games.
would you steal a movie?
Right, right.
Yes, I would.
Yes. Well, because especially with games, you're talking about people that their livelihoods are dependent upon game sales. And before you pirated games because they were free and you wanted to play them for free. It was theft because you were just trying to get something for free. Now, is it is it piracy? Is it the moral affront that it was? Is it morally wrong? Because I mean, these corporations really aren't paying their people very much, and let's face it, those people are probably going to lose their jobs anyway next month. And it sucks, but I think that now all of a sudden I am seeing piracy in a very different light where I would never steal games. I don't really feel it's stealing games anymore because if they can steal things from me off of my hard drive that I've purchased, how wrong is it that I can steal them back for free
Mhm.
on the dark web or from a piracy site?
You don't have to go to the dark web for
You don't.
piracy.
No, no,
That
no,
shit
really.
is like
I mean
down
dark
down
web
the
in the less legal, the less than legal
that
sites.
that's just down your street in your neighbor's garage. He's like, "Oh
Pretty
yeah,
much.
you want a game? I got your game."
I am seeing I'm seeing downloading cracked copies being a very different thing. And
AC Ray
ultimately I
said,
see this. Oh, ahead.
"If I still had access to ad-supported anime, I wouldn't pirate it, and I don't even care to support the lousy anime industry."
Mhm.
Yeah, I think piracy is less about the money. Like that's what a lot of
Now,
companies want you to
now,
think. No, I think
now.
even back then, like it
20 years
wasn't.
ago, it was about the money. Oh, it was absolutely about the money.
Yes and no. It was about the money in as much as I was like a poor high school student who spent, a bunch of money renting games for PlayStation, but on PC, it's like, well, I could pirate this game on PC because I'm a poor high school student. But
Yeah.
like, look, that shit that will always be there. Make it
It's
a
going to be a
little
lot more of
affordable,
it soon.
but also make it convenient. Like he said, if he had access to ad-supported anime, he wouldn't need to pirate it. I download so many fan subs of anime because it wasn't available anywhere else. Make your shit easily available. That's the best alternative to piracy. Now, in this case, talking about the discs, um, it suddenly becomes more of a moral issue. But I do think what you'll see going forward, at least now, is like a much stronger hacker collective trying to jailbreak the PS5.
Mhm.
I do think there was no, it was the Switch? A couple weeks ago, not weeks, months ago, there was a story about someone getting like the BIOS kernel for either the Switch 2 or the PlayStation 5. And like, oh, that's kind of what you need to start emulation and jailbreak the
I think
console.
it was Switch. I remember this, and I think it was
Yeah.
the Switch.
Okay. But yeah, Switch piracy has been a thing that the first Switch like
Mhm.
was jailbroken pretty quickly into its lifespan.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah, he says the hacking will happen anyway. This just moves up the timeline.
yeah, and I think that I think that the getting rid of physical discs is a short-sighted decision by Sony, because I don't think that they're realizing that the downstream alternative is it is going to relaunch the world of Napster. And you're going to have a constant arms
But I
race
don't think it
against
will because
piracy.
it's a lot harder to pirate something for a console than it is for PC.
Yeah, but I think that it I don't I think that that might be the end of the console and everybody going to PC to play their games, because they can own their
Maybe.
games and know that they can never be stolen.
Well,
That is the
own.
biggest argument for PC games. Well, if you pirate it, you have it on your computer. When I say own, it
Okay,
means no one
okay.
can steal it from me.
So you
No
don't
one
mean
can
buying from
take
GOG or
backsy.
buying from Valve.
Right. I would absolutely buy from GOG. I don't know that I mean, Valve, obviously, I'm going to do from Valve until Valve reaches into my hard drive and tells me I can't play it anymore. And then I will go on, then I will pirate it. Especially the things that I've already purchased. Like all those people that just lost those 500 movies. Damn right, I would feel absolutely no qualms about going onto a pirate site and pirating back my movies so I have them on my hard drive.
Mhm.
Absolutely no question will I do that, because I've already paid for it. It's a bit like, well, I mean, they've set up kleptocracy. This has turned gaming into a kleptocracy, that they will steal it back from me, I will steal it back from them, and so on and so on. And there are always more than enough people who are willing to jailbreak, crack, whatever, in order to get these files to people, just just to say they did it.
But I
Before they
don't
did it because they thought it was
I
for the lulz and because they hated the idea that a game was $50. Now there's another reason,
I
and
don't
it's
think
not, and I don't have a problem not giving these companies my money
I
anymore. If
I
they're
don't
if they can
think
take them back from me. If they can steal from me, I can steal from them.
I don't think there will be a spike in piracy because, and I don't want to defend this because I do think it's a bad decision that like is unfortunate, if only because I always bought a PlayStation to use as my Blu-ray player. And now I can't do that. Even if I don't buy physical games, I buy 4K movies like I talked about
Mhm.
because those are better than streaming movies and I can watch them on my PlayStation. Now I can't do that. So just in that regard, it's like, oh, this device that used to be multifunction, games and movies, has suddenly lost half its functionality.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think there'll be a spike in piracy because most people are already there. Most like us, we don't buy physical discs. Like we're not in that ecosystem anymore. And
I'm
so
so right,
we'll
but I'm sorry I sold my physical disc. I
but
am
that's the thing.
sorry that I didn't buy physical discs.
We're looking back and like, oh, I can't live the life that I used to, even though I haven't lived that life for 20
That's
plus
not true.
years.
Because have you seen what's happened to the prices of used game discs
I
on
haven't seen
eBay?
used gifts.
Go look at I mean used games on disc on eBay. The price has spiked. People are going back to the games that they've had, and it's people that have them on their hard drive or have them
Mhm.
in their PlayStation library. They're going back and they're purchasing all those old games. What was I looking up? We were looking it up yesterday. It wasn't Saboteur. It was something else. Maybe, yeah, it was. It was Saboteur because I had said that I was sorry that I sold my physical copy of Saboteur.
Yeah.
And yeah, Saboteur on disc is $30. The
Interesting because I
price
remember
of
we
physical games have gone up on eBay because people are purchasing all the games that they have licenses for currently on their PlayStation and probably also their Xbox, and they're getting backup copies. They're getting the physical copies so that they can't be taken away.
I think that spike is driven by a well, it's driven by 20% of the population, right? The Circana and all the news stories like, oh, 80% of sales are digital now. Like
Yeah.
and granted, 20% of all video game sales is like I think I saw it on Kotaku. It's like 200 million copies. So,
Mm-hmm.
when you put a number on it, it's big.
It's big.
Um but I've seen other people say that this is basically Sony calling people's bluff of like, "Oh,
Right.
you say that you need this, we don't think you do." And
And it
and
would
and
have
I and
and
I
it
say
would have
and I
gone under the
say,
radar. It would have gone under the radar if
no,
they
it wouldn't.
hadn't taken
No,
back
it wouldn't.
all of those. Right, but if they hadn't taken back those 500 movies the week before, I think it might not have put as much of a panic into the world as it has. And
Yeah, that
because
timing is bad.
those two things, it's not just that one story that gets mentioned. They get mentioned in the same breath. And I think that it has put very clearly to people who probably otherwise wouldn't have cared. It's put it in their heads like, oh, fuck, I care now. People that wouldn't have normally noticed. I mean, one of the things that I said disc killing takes heat. Holy crap. So many places that you would never have expected to have had a reaction to that had a reaction to that. Let's
Yeah,
see.
and I do wonder because this kind of
Trevor
thing,
Noah,
this
Trevor Noah actually mentioned it. Said, I completely understand what somebody wrote. I personally don't care that they're going to be any more physical discs for PlayStation. I haven't bought a hard copy game in 10 years. I play the game, I enjoy it. That's it. I never understand the outrage. And Trevor Noah actually replied to this guy and said, I completely understand where you're coming from, but for a lot of gamers, physical discs are the only way they can afford to play games because they could get them secondhand. You can also give games to your younger siblings, which is a great way to introduce them to the games.
yes,
Also,
that is all true.
a candidate for the president of France. Actually, and by the way, I just love this particular party. French presidential candidate Jean-Luc Mélenchon, who is from the left-wing party La France Insoumise, which La France Insoumise means the French draft dodger. That's a political party. He actually is going to be pushing for new legislation on digital purchases because of this announcement.
I mean, if
He
anything,
said,
this puts emphasis on the whole "Stop Killing Games" initiative,
"Oh yeah, oh yeah."
right? If
He said,
if
"Quote
that gets
with
passed, this is all less of an issue.
Yeah, true." He said, with GTA 6 set to be released as a discrete title in 2026 and Sony's announcement that it will cease sales of physical game discs in 2028, the question arises as how these products should be regarded. this is what a presidential candidate in France has said. In the future, you will pay without ever actually owning anything. No loans, no resale, no guarantee that you will retain what you've paid for. Video games are not merely commodities, they are cultural assets, and current legislation must apply to them. We will launch this campaign in 2027. Gamers have rights too. And pretty much throughout the the Twitter sphere, everywhere, YouTube, places where stuff would be announced, like Sony put up a tweet about um, Superman coming out in 30 days. And normally that maybe gets a handful of replies because it's just one of those, throwaway tweets. Something like 500 replies. And it was all about Sony killing discs. And, like, why would we support you when you're doing this to us? Somebody made some kind of comment. Oh, in their Sony's company account, they announced the Talladega Nights. It came back out for its anniversary for a limited time, and they wrote back,
Yeah, I
they
saw
put a
this.
little announcement like, "Hey, if you're going to want to see Talladega Nights in the theater, you might want to go now because Talladega Nights is going to be out of theaters in 3 days." And somebody actually wrote, "Good thing I have a freaking disc." It's the I think that they underestimated that people would care, but I think that they also shot themselves in the foot if they were hoping people wouldn't care because of the GTA 6 announcement that they are going to have physical discs. They're just going to be a month later. But
Actually, no,
they did say there are no physical discs on this
they
GTA 6.
there's been
I thought
like
they said it was in January that they were going to release the physical
no,
discs.
there've been like insider reports that basically there is no plan.
Oh,
So at the moment, there's no plan to make a physical disc. And
well, they might be
honestly,
watching this very carefully.
I don't think that news plus this, I don't think would have gotten all the hate. It was the remove
The
movies,
movies.
which is like it's funny to say that's a perfectly Microsoft thing to do.
I
Of
know. I
of
know.
we're
This
gonna
is
announce this
Ashish.
one
Oh my
story.
God.
We're gonna announce this
Yes.
one story and then another story that like completely undercuts it or like makes everything worse.
You
It's like
had until
how
2028 to make this announcement. You really
yeah.
did. You didn't have to make it within 5 days. Well, within 6 days of each other
Yeah,
to
like
go
PR
and
departments were not talking to each other. And it's not even PR departments. The person who made this announcement should have just looked at Sony's own website, seen that news and said, let's just
mm,
delay this a little
yeah,
bit.
why don't we hold off 6 months?
Yeah.
If they'd have
We
made it
don't
even a month difference.
we don't need to talk about this now.
Absolutely. I
Which actually
wonder. I think I
why
made
did
that comment to you in our text thread. That I'm wondering if they use Chat GPT for their PR department because this is like that guy, like Crafton using Chat GPT to be its lawyer.
yeah, and
This
this
feels
didn't
like a Chat GPT was advised them to do this. It's
and this
just
didn't
that
come
stupid.
from like a an investor call or something. This wasn't a result
Mm-mm.
of like their finances. This came from a blog post.
They knew. I mean, if they didn't know how this would land, they absolutely should have known how this would land. That you take movies, steal movies out. I'm going to call it theft. They're going to steal movies that people bought out of their libraries, and then a week later saying we're going to no longer allow discs. Did they think that we're that stupid that we wouldn't put two and two together? I just, uh, I can't believe that they were
I
so
wonder,
foolish.
I wonder, because I saw that you had another story that their factories making discs are already starting to detransition.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is already in process,
Oh, it is
which
absolutely already in process.
makes me think because I was just reading the blog post and the blog post is 3 paragraphs long. And I think this transition that they're already going through, I think that they were worried or had noticed that like it would leak. That it would
Probably.
leak, that Kotaku or IGN or the Hollywood Reporter or something would report this, and that would be even worse because then it'd be like Sony's killing physical discs and they're not telling you about it.
Yeah,
I
possibly.
think I think this might be a way to head off that bad news. Um and just the two arms of Sony, the movie studio and the game studio, were not talking to each other.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, that is happening. So, according to Sony Digital Audio Disc Corporation, the DADC, the CEO of that company, um, they're already hard at work to repurpose the plants that they use to manufacture discs. As you said, Sony is the one that actually manufactures the discs for all the games and also for all the movies. And they have facilities throughout the world. One of those facilities is in Austria. And so the CEO of Sony's DADC, the Digital Audio Disc Corporation, his name is Dietmar Tanzer. During an interview with a newspaper in Salzburg, he said that Sony's already repurposing that factory and retraining the 300 employees that are there at the one in the plant in Austria, and it's going to be transforming into a micro lens production facility. So according to the DADC's head of micro optics, Marcus Striebel, that's been planned before Sony's announcement earlier this week. And the 300 point employees at Talgo, Austria, that's where the factory is. They learned of Sony's shift to digital at the same time as the general public. And the factory's management revealed that it had received a 30 million euro investment in optical microlens production before the July 1st announcement. So they knew that they'd received this, the management knew that they'd received an investment to make optical micro lenses. But the workers, the employees, had no clue before the announcement was made that they were getting rid of it. So that does sort of make sense with your suspicion that some people knew. Certainly, these production facilities management knew that there was something afoot when you're making CDs one day and then you get a $30 million order for micro lens production. And you're like, we don't make micro lenses. It's like, mm, not now. And then all of a sudden, people are starting to put two and two together. Hey, we're no longer going to be making discs anymore. Hmm. So maybe it is one of those situations where someone figured out that someone was about to figure out that discs were going to end, and that someone was snooping out the trail of it. But still, even so, even if they'd have waited a month, it would have been a different hit than waiting a week. Having a week between those two announcements.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna let you go. I have to step away for a moment
Oh, okay. I
because
was gonna go like get a drink of water.
soda.
So
No, okay, let
okay.
me go
Uh,
get rid of some water and then you can have more.
you do that. I can also talk about on this same topic. Blah blah blah. Where's my? There it is. There's been talk that Xbox is working on a disc to digital feature, which is interesting because I remember them talking about this way back when Phil Spencer first took over, that they were looking to do something like this. And back then, it made a lot more sense because like when he took over, that generation kind of was the transition from discs to digital. So that feature would have made a lot more sense then. This feature coming now, it's like Well, I haven't bought an Xbox game, let alone an Xbox disc game, in like a decade. So I don't really know who this is for, other than maybe that 20% of people. Um, but the way that this would work is all people have to do, and this is coming from The Verge, all people have to do is insert the game disc into the console, play it, and the Xbox uses certain data on the disc to unlock a digital version of the game. The feature only works for Xbox Series X and S discs and many, but not all, Xbox One discs. So those Xbox 360 discs I have in my closet that I've been saving, uh, those won't matter. But if you give away the game or sell it, you lose the digital version the second someone else starts using the disc. So there's something on the disk that acts as like an authorization. There's some key on the disk. And so if you put that disk into your console, it takes that key and says, okay, this key is now this key for this disk is now associated with this digital version. And as long as you keep that disk, or even if you break that disk, you'll still have access to that digital version. But the moment someone puts that disk into their console, the Xbox will read that ID and say, wait, this ID was associated with the previous console. Now that it's been put into another console, uh, we're going to take that authorization away from the previous console and put it onto this new one. I think the tricky
Heaven
part,
forbid,
the
heaven
tricky part,
forbid that your, console breaks and you have to get a new one.
well, I assume like Xbox and everything is on the profile level, not the box level. Nintendo
Point.
saves all your stuff to the box. Xbox and PlayStation save everything to your profile.
Point. All right.
So
Never mind.
if your Xbox breaks, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, good point.
What I think is more interesting, and I think the reason that you haven't seen them implement this feature ever since Phil Spencer started talking about it, is that, well, what do you do if that second Xbox is offline? Because you need that console to be online to go disc and disc.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe you make it so that you allow people to do that if the console is offline, but it saves that information. And if
Mm-hmm.
the console ever goes online at any point in the future, then it suddenly does that handshake and revokes authorization from the previous console. But then what if you give the console to your friend, he takes his Xbox offline, puts the disc in, plays it a bunch, then gives the disc back to you, and you put that disc in to reauthorize it to your console? What does it do? And then he takes his console online. What does that do? And
Yeah,
I
that's a
think
good
that's
point.
what they're running into of how does this work? Because essentially, you would just be sharing a physical game, and there really
Mm-hmm.
isn't like it's like the answer is, well, you just let it happen because the guy got the game back, and now the person who had it, the second player, doesn't have it anymore. So you just kind of let that happen. But maybe you lost the sale because person number two didn't have to buy it, they just borrowed it. But also, PlayStation lets you do that, right?
Mm-hmm. That
The
was the whole
whole
thing
the
about
whole
that.
parent child thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Remember the video of there's how to share a disc with
no,
PlayStation.
no, not just that. The PlayStation 5. Like the way there's like it's not family sharing, but it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is the primary profile. If we make Andrew the primary profile on my console, he can play every digital game that I have.
We did that. That's what I have with
Yes.
Andrew.
Yes. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, like Xbox might be looking at this situation thinking, how do we get around these edge cases? But like PlayStation offers a very similar thing. And the truth is, like, the edge cases are edge cases.
Mm-hmm.
just fucking let it happen.
Let it happen.
Because look, you did that. I don't know if you're still doing that, because when was the last time you turned on your PlayStation? Because guess what?
Very
You
long.
did that, has an edge case because, hey, this is cool and he can play a couple games. And then a month later, he's playing PC games, you're not playing PlayStation, and no one cares. It's like, just let the edge case happen, because most of the time, it's a one-off thing.
It is very much so.
And
Well,
what that also proves is that there is a potential future here in an all digital world where you can share games conveniently and easily with people. Like, the technology exists. It's just that no one actually wants to do it. But like,
here's
the potential is there. It doesn't have to be restricted. I said this. I sent this in a text to you and Andrew, that we live in a cyberpunk dystopia with all of the oppressive corpo control, but none of the sick ass body modifications.
yeah.
Like, you can have a utopian digital world where PlayStation gives you the ability to share digital games, even just give ownership of digital games. You don't have to resell the digital game, because that gets into a whole issue of money and all that stuff. But if I just say, I'm going to take my digital license and give that to you, I'm going to gift it to you. That's a possibility. They can do that. It's just nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this digital to disc feature that Xbox is working on, like I said, they've been doing that for a decade plus, and it hasn't gone anywhere. I feel like someone at Xbox is leaking this information to try to give Xbox a little bit of positive, like, goodwill right before, they lay off 2,000 people. But I don't know if this is actually going to go anywhere, because all of the rumors has been that Project Helix is going to be all digital.
It is going to be all digital, no question. No
So,
question.
like, this is just going to be like an add-on that you get to put your discs in.
I'm something that about thieves. You know who the people that are most afraid of being are most concerned about being stolen from? Thieves.
Oh.
People that steal are the ones that are like the ones that I'm not going to let anybody else get a penny from me. That's why they are concerned about the edge cases.
Okay, hang on. I'm
They
going to go
would
get some more
they would
water.
rather make everything incredibly inconvenient for everyone rather than lose a microcent from anyone else, because they are absolutely unconcerned about stealing large amounts from us with our ownership of items. So since we don't have Nick, I will move on, and we'll stay on this topic, and then we'll move on. It's a shame he went to the Xbox thing, because I wanted to hit one more thing about PlayStation before we moved on to Xbox. But the we were talking about the sharing of the disc video. Remember that sharing of the disc video? Well, one of the guys that was in it was was, I believe, I forget what it was. He was like their head of something something, one of their VPs. He was an executive with them, Sean Layden. He was interviewed. He's no longer with Sony, hasn't been with Sony for a long time, but he was with Sony for 32 years. And he was in an interview asked about Sony going discless in 2028, his thoughts about it. And he said that, oh, let me take this off here. He said that it makes sense to him, even if it's not an ugly even if it is an ugly decision, it does make sense to him. He called it a quote unquote spreadsheet decision. He said he didn't think that secondhand sales were a factor in deciding for it. And He also said that Sony had been wrestling with this exact question of whether to keep making discs for quite some time already in the past, even under his tenure. Now, Sean Layden left Sony in 2019, so that was quite some time ago. And he said, quote, I had no idea what's going to happen. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I don't work in the business anymore. Maybe it's just too prohibitively expensive to stamp out discs. But he said he really didn't know what was behind the decision. But he did say it could be no more complicated a decision as some people looking at a quote unquote spreadsheet and deciding the numbers don't make sense anymore to keep supporting these disc sales. He said, quote, if you look at any decision to discontinue a product or a feature or a model or what have you, largely it's a straight spreadsheet decision, or like just a straight spreadsheet. What are disc sales compared to digital sales? I'm old enough to remember when digital sales were like 10%. I'm old enough to remember when digital sales were 0% because we didn't have a digital market, and that number just grew over time. I've been at, and he said that the end of disc production probably does seem like they're going to be making a PS6 console without a disc. I think that goes without saying, but he did say that not having a disc was something that Sony had been thinking about and playing with for quite a while. I've been asked this question every year for the last 20 years. When are you guys going to just give up on the disk drive? My feeling was that always, well, when you get to a place where I'm comfortable enough to believe that the worldwide broadband throughput is good enough to support that download experience, good enough to reach the majority of customers. Majority does not mean the entirety, he did say. So a tipping point, where if I have 80% of the opportunity, which represents 95% of the revenue source, what's my incentive to keep the lights on for another 20% if it's effectively only 5% of the business? See what I'm saying? At some point, it just becomes obvious that we can't keep this whole thing running just for a very small slice of opportunity.
Do you think we're there?
Obviously. We're there by the decision made by Sony. We're there. But I think that they also didn't take into account, and he's not taking into account, that he just swelled the desire for people to purchase discs
He what?
because they
Swelled?
just swelled it, made it bigger, made it swell
Oh, okay.
because of the decision that they made earlier in the week to remove all those movies. It may have been a case of, like you said, movies versus games, right hand, left hand. They didn't really connect the two. We connected the two and made us, and I think that they're hitting a wall that they did not expect to hit of these two. They didn't, like I said, they didn't connect the two things happening might be an issue. We did because we see the writing on the wall. We see what the potential of going all disc means. So I keep on thinking it's somebody's at the door, but I have my headphones on.
Goalie's in the chat saying F
Hey,
the
goalie.
poor. And then how does the Senate vote? I don't understand the Senate vote.
No, nobody's at my door. It just happens to be something that's creaking that seems to sound like in my headset. It seems to sound like the door. Hey, goalie, how's up? Don't mind me.
Oh, he said it's from the History of the World Part 1.
Oh, what was the line?
How does the Senate vote?
Oh, I don't remember that scene.
Jupiter.
I just remember
off.
piss boy. Piss boy.
So then, if this is a spreadsheet decision, can we blame this on AI too?
Sure, why not?
If anything, I'm surprised that Sony didn't go, well, because of AI, we need to lower manufacturing costs, so we're gonna stop doing discs. Like,
Yeah.
at least slight kudos to like not jumping on the AI bandwagon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the spreadsheet decision, it does make sense that this would be a spreadsheet decision. That being said, also they didn't check the news before they wrecked the news, so to speak. They didn't check to see what had happened the week before and how people might be reacting to that decision. I think that they're being caught very flat-footed. They didn't expect the backlash.
Like,
Certainly
okay,
not at the
here's the
level
thing.
of that
Here's the
they're
thing.
receiving it.
They must have. Like, look, the people like they're not fucking idiots. As much as it's fun to say, and as much as like the current crop of tech CEOs are really challenging that assumption, I think
True.
most people at their jobs are not fucking idiots. And if you're gonna put this out, like it was, if you're gonna put out this blog post, the guy who has his name on it must have known. Okay, yes, I know we took all these movies off digital a week ago. I think that they assume rip off the band-aid. We will get a lot of backlash for the first week. We'll get a lot of backlash for the first month.
It'll
But you
go
know
away.
what? But you
It'll
know
go
what's
away.
going to happen? GTA 6 will come out and people will move on.
True.
I
They
think that it's
probably
a
thought that.
calculated decision that even if they didn't know how wide the backlash would go, they're like, look, people are going to be upset. Let's just write it out and eventually it will go away. Eventually, look, Xbox is going to lay off 2,000 people next week. No one's going to be talking about physical games when they can't work in games. They're like, the bad news, if anything, if we've learned anything for the past like 4 years, bad news is always supplanted with more bad news like 3 days later.
Well, either they're idiots or that they know that there's going to be even worse, more earth-shattering bad news from Xbox to take the heat off of them.
Yeah.
They know what's coming,
I think
which is they
they
probably
just
do.
know. I think they just know that in 2026 the news cycle is going to move on to something else in a week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And by the time GTA 6 comes out, people will be buying $1,000 console with a bundle of GTA 6, all digital, and they're going to be like, yeah, I just want GTA 6.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it.
Probably. Well, as I said that I wanted to talk about what was going on with Xbox and their bad news. So I do
Mm.
have some not horrible news. I mean, it's bad news, but it's the lighter side of bad news. As we know, any minute now, I'm expecting Monday, we will find out exactly how bad the bloodshed is going to be at Xbox Studios. I would imagine we're going to be waking up tomorrow to far fewer Xbox Studios than we are going to go to sleep with tonight. Um, that being said, Jason Schreier, always the source of excellent information, has said that he has it on good authority, which means it's absolutely 100% true because we're talking about Jason Schreier, that both Halo Studios and Obsidian are going to be fine.
And I know there's like a bit of a kerfuffle over this because I think the game business newsletter and podcast previously reported that Obsidian was being considered. Then Schreier's like, no, they're not being considered. And then like there's some back and forth, and the game business updated and said, no, it was a miscommunication. They were being considered, but they're not being considered anymore. And if anything, I think it just goes to show that Xbox was just kind of cycling through. They're going through their list of developers.
Mm-hmm.
They're going in maybe they're going in alphabetical order. They start with Double Fine. They go with
Going to
Compulsion.
D.
Then they're down to Ninja Theory, and after Ninja Theory is Obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah, but
but they're looking at
Jason
that.
Schreier
Yeah.
posted a tweet that said, despite a report this morning, and he was talking about that earlier, a report from
Yes.
Christopher Dring of the game business about Obsidian. But Schreier wrote, despite a report this morning, I can confirm that Obsidian is not in negotiations to avoid shutting down. Plenty of details are up in the air surrounding the layoffs. Picture will be clear on Monday, but Xbox is keeping Obsidian, according to people familiar with the situation.
Which makes sense because
And it
if
was
they're
a blue
going to
sky, not a
be
tweet.
if they're going to be doubling down on their biggest franchises, one of those is Fallout. Obsidian is known for making one of the more beloved Fallout games. So
Mm-hmm.
the idea that, hey, let's just give it Obsidian to make another Fallout game feels like a no-brainer. But
Also,
this
Outer Worlds, also Grounded.
but this also feels like Xbox is just making the same mistakes they did before. Because Outer Worlds, not Outer, yes, Outer Worlds.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Oh, didn't have Nick on my screen, so I wasn't able to count. How many? 7. Okay. 7.
7.
So
Um,
you're counting now. Awesome. I
oh
love the
yeah.
fact.
Um, Outer Worlds took like 6 years to develop.
Mm-hmm.
Asha's going to be out here. We're going to double down and focus on all of our major franchises. We're going to have Obsidian working on a new Fallout game, and you can expect that in 2035.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Xbox isn't going to be around in 2035. This is like when Phil took over and he bought Double Fine and Compulsion and all of those studios. And he's like, yeah, we bought all these studios and we're going to put out games. And then the next year, yeah, we don't have anything to show you, but don't worry, next year is going to be our year. And then the next year, we don't have any games to show you, but next year is going to be our year.
They forget how
So
long
on
it
and so
takes to
forth.
make a game.
You can't double down on your biggest franchises when your biggest franchises take 7 years to come out. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you do in the meantime? And so this is just, they're going to go through all these layoffs. They're going to have Obsidian start on a Fallout game. And then next year, they're going to be like, we're rebuilding, but don't worry. Next year is going to be our year. Project Helix is going to come out, and they're going to be like, there was a Halo game, but it's still under development, so we're going to delay it a year, just like they did with the Series X. And it's just going to be, we're just going to see what happened with Phil happen the same, where Xbox is going to go through a shakeup and then spend 5 years rebuilding. And then by the time they get to the point where they start pumping out games consistently, they're going to be like, we need another big shakeup.
You forget who's running Xbox, though. You
Yeah,
know that she
Sad
knows what
Nutella.
happened before. Right. No. Xbox, not Microsoft.
Yeah, Sad Nutella.
No, not
Yes.
Xbox. It's
Yes.
Asha Sharma.
Sad Nutella.
Okay, either
I've
way.
I've heard rumors that like no, basically everything since the Activision purchase, it's been him.
Okay.
He's been
Well, that
driving
makes
the
sense.
scenes since then, which makes
But
sense why everything's fucked because he's the terrible leader.
Right. But both he and Asha, where do they come from? AI. They think that they will be able to use AI. You won't have 7-year turnarounds. You'll have 2-year turnarounds. You'll have 3-year turnarounds max. I think that they think that they will be able to pump out more games faster from these established IPs because of AI coding. Now,
Maybe,
can they? Don't know.
except AI doesn't streamline development to the point where you can actually cut down on time frame like that. Like the
Exactly.
reason games take long to make is because they keep getting bigger.
Mm-hmm.
If Obsidian just made a game the size of Fallout New Vegas, just a whole new game built from the ground up, but it was that same scope, I think they could complete that in 3 to 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But would that be a Fallout game? Would that be what Microsoft is looking for? Or are they looking for
Maybe they are.
the next Skyrim?
No, maybe they are. Maybe they are being realistic.
Because that's what they should be. They
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't look at Obsidian and say, make us another huge Fallout game. Make us a small Fallout game.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you do. Just make something that you can put out in 3 years.
I think that's exactly what they are saying. I would
I
I
don't.
would venture to guess that they are because they've are. I mean, it's not like they don't know what happened with Phil. They're not idiots. I mean, yeah, they are, but they're also not idiots. They've seen what happened. They saw how long it took for that kind of shakeup between um 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 I always forget his name. Um
Don Matrick.
Don Matrick. I want to say Darn Ragnar. Don Matrick. They saw what happened
Donald
between,
Duck.
yeah, Donald Duck. They saw what happened between Donald Duck and Phil. So they are going to recognize that the downside of that is that you have to have a quick turnaround on games. And I will bet you that that's exactly what they're saying. Look, we're not asking you to put out a master epic greatest thing ever. We want you to make a good Fallout game, and you need to use AI to do it so that we have the shortest turnaround possible because 2 years from now, we need to see Fallout on the shelves. Or not on the shelves because we don't do discs anymore. We need to see Fallout in download queues. I think that that's exactly what they are going to do. It's
I,
going to be,
I
I don't want to say shovelware, but it's going to be the equivalent of shovelware.
It's
It's
not going to be
going to be the
shovelware. Obsidian makes good games.
not probably under the directive of what Asha Sharma and Satnatella want. They just want a game. A bit like Star Wars. We want a Star Wars movie every year. Now they backed off of that because they realized they can't make a good Star Wars movie every year. In fact, they could make a lot of really bad Star Wars movies every year.
Well,
But I think
ironically,
that that's what they're
ironically,
going to try to do is it's a we want the first Fallout game to be in 3 years and then after that we want Fallout every 2 years.
ironically, even using Star Wars as an example,
Mhm.
they did that consistently with episode 7.
Mhm.
Yeah, 7, 8,
Mhm.
and then there was an internet backlash to 8. But I
Mhm.
read the script for 9, or the old script for 9 that the guy who did Jurassic World wrote. It was actually pretty good. Now, Rise of Skywalker ranks up there with Supergirl and Batman v Superman, has some of the three worst blockbuster movies I've ever seen. Of like, how the fuck did you do this? What were you thinking? But that's because they listened to Twitter. What do you not do? Don't listen to Twitter. What is Asha doing?
She's listening to
He's
Twitter.
listening to Twitter.
I
So
think that
it
if
it really does not evoke a lot of hope in me that she recognizes the game industry enough that she's like, okay, development takes a long time. We are going to narrow scope on this game to ensure that you can get it out sooner. While we're gonna put the whip to Bethesda and say, Bethesda, stop fucking slouching around and actually put some shit together. Uh, we're going to be more active. We're going to like tighten the reins. I don't think she understands the industry well enough to do that in a capable, intelligent way. I think she's going to Twitter and saying, what game would you like to see Obsidian make next? Oh, you want a sequel to Fallout New Vegas? We're going to have them do that.
Mhm.
Like, that feels more of her level of understanding of the business.
Maybe, maybe. But I think we will see a Fallout in the next 2 years, maybe 3. We'll see it
Probably
announced
3.
next
Probably
year
3.
and it be out in 3. I think it is going to be a smaller Fallout
It
because you
should
can't
be.
make a big. It should be. It absolutely should be. And
Excuse me.
I don't. I think that's probably now that you've articulated that. I think that's exactly what they're doing. Is they are
I
paring
hope
down to the bare
so.
basics, and they're going to be putting out more games of their established IPs faster. That's why they're getting rid of things like Double Fine. They're getting rid of the artsy fartsy studios.
Like, scope creep is what has killed the AAA game of,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we got The Witcher 3. Witcher 3 is going to be bigger than Skyrim. Oh, Crimson Desert's going to be bigger than Witcher 3. Witcher 4 is going to be bigger than Crimson Desert. Like, they keep getting bigger and bigger, but you don't need it to be that big.
Yeah, Kingdom Come
Um,
Deliverance, we're gonna make it so big you don't even feel like
yeah,
finishing the first
we're gonna
second
make it so
area.
big that you don't finish the game.
Yeah.
Like make a 60 to 80-hour game. That is a solid, like, long time, but it's
Mhm.
also like a long doable time.
Mhm.
You don't need like a 300-hour thing.
No, you don't. You really don't. And
And
if
that's
they
what
do that,
kills
I'm not going to
development
be
time.
angry at them. I'm not going to be angry at Asha Sharma if she does that.
Yeah.
But that would take that's assuming that she has the foresight. And I'm hoping that because of her lack of experience in the games industry that she's listening to smart people who are telling her things like this.
Yeah.
I'm I don't like the fact that that so many of these companies people are losing their jobs, that so many of these studios that I love are shuttering. But if that's a very big if, but if that is what they're doing, I I'm not as angry at it as I might have been if they just continue on or they're just shuttering it for no damn good reason without any vision. If they're just s- making spreadsheet decisions. That's what I fear that a lot of this is spreadsheet decisions. And it very well could be.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that she has more of a vision about what happens after you've closed all these studios. What's your vision of where are you going with
Yeah.
focusing on
What
these big
what
spectacle
games are
games?
next?
Right.
Well, one of the games that we know is next, because
Mhm.
another game that is safe from the layoffs is OD, Kojima's game.
Mhm.
So we know that that one is reportedly safe from the layoffs, or at least it's not going to get canceled.
Well,
But we
they've
do
also
know,
learned you don't fuck with Kojima. If you want to make sure that you piss
yeah.
off the Twitterverse, fuck with Kojima. Yeah.
Um, so OD is still coming out, but there were reports that Arcane's Blade game might get canceled, and that
Mhm.
Arcane Leon itself might get shut down.
Mhm.
Uh, Also, IO Interactive, the developer between of Hitman and 007 First Light, was working on a fantasy game that was in part funded by Xbox. They have since canceled that funding, and IO has suffered layoffs as a result of that. But they say that they're still working on that fantasy game.
Mhm.
So we're already seeing some trickled down effects of Xbox cutting funding for third parties as well as internal.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that Kojima's game is, but like I said,
Look, they need something. If they
they
close all their studios and are
yeah,
like, oh, we only have Fallout, Halo, and the
Call of
Forza.
Duty
Oh yeah,
and Call
Call
of
of Duty.
Duty.
And look, man, at least Call of Duty has the infrastructure to put out games on a yearly basis.
Right, right. And I
Bethesda,
think they're banking on
Bethesda,
that.
Bethesda ain't gonna put out another game until 2030. You know what? Maybe 2035. There's a solid chance that we don't see Elder Scrolls 6 until 2035.
I have a
And the
feeling
Halo
they're probably
studio,
having a conversation about Elder Scrolls 6 and the scope of Elder Scrolls 6 because you know that that's one of the reasons why it's taking so long is that it's going to be even bigger.
I don't know, not Skyrim, not Skyfall, Starfield. Starfield was bigger than Skyrim.
Yeah, but Starfield was
Bigger.
yeah, it was bigger
There's just
you know,
nothing to
like
do in it.
right.
That's what scope feature creep does. Is when the world is that big, you gotta fill it with shit, and
Put
that's
shit
what
in it.
takes effort and time.
Yeah. 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 And I think that OD being safe, air quote safe from the layoffs is, or at least the cancellations, I think that is in no small part to the fuck Kojima fallout that or sorry, not fuck Konami, sorry, not fuck Kojima, fuck
Hmm.
Konami. That Konami's never recovered from that really. That's still on them. That stink is still there. How many years down the
It's
line?
still there, but like I think they're recovering
How
between putting out the
has
Silent
anybody?
Hill.
I'm be surprised if nobody has said anything in the comments. Has anybody said fuck Konami yet?
AC Wraith though has the record keeper of note, episode 690, and for reference, this is episode 825.
Oh
On episode
God.
690, Nick says Elder Scrolls release in 2029. Edie says 2028. Chunderbox and Goalie say 2026.
Oh, Chenderbox's goalie, you're clearly wrong. I still got hope.
You
I
can
got
still
hope.
get it. You can still get. God, What year was that? Episode 690?
690? Yeah, what year? Yeah, what's the date of that, AC Wraith?
How
Because
far
that's
was I
well,
jumping
200
ahead?
episodes. 200 episodes. That would be 4 years ago.
But it's 690. 690 to 790 to 820. So that's
Okay,
like
so it's like
130 episodes.
right, and there's 52 weeks in a year,
So that's
give or take.
at least 2 years.
Right. So I'm saying I'm close. I think it's closer to 3.
Yeah,
Because remember, we don't have anything
2024.
during PAX, and we've got holidays and things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm waiting to see.
2023. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Back then I was thinking
2
6 years
years ago, according to YouTube. So it's
Okay.
probably more than 2 years ago, closer to 3.
And you know what? I still might have been too generous.
I don't know. I think 2028. I'm still feeling 2028. I think that it might have been too generous a couple of months ago, but given
Mm,
the Asha Sharma marching orders, I think that has probably been conversations of you might want to pare it down, make it smaller, and release it sooner.
I want to see someone make some fan art of Asha with a whip over Todd Howard.
I just want to see Todd Howard whipped in all ways, and not in like the fun, sexy way either.
Oh, okay.
No, not the fun, sexy way. No, gross. By the way, 77 minutes in, Brazil, Norway still 0-0.
Yeah, I've been flicking my eyes over and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep. So it looks like we're gonna go into overtime. So many shootouts. So many shootouts this World Cup. Oh. All right. Other items that we can keep moving on.
Yeah, I have one more big item.
Yeah.
So the Steam machine has already had an instance of a red ring of death. Specifically, the little horizontal LED under it turns red when it gets bricked.
Red line of
So
death.
yes, it is the red line of death. This was from do I hear Reddit user me_hill. Got 5 minutes of No Man's Sky in. Then I installed the update the machine had available and it bricked itself. If you're still in the queue, look on the bright side. They're presumably going to iron this crap out.
So, how did he have one out? They're not shipping them yet, right?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, are they?
He was just ahead of the queue than us.
Wow. I didn't
Like,
realize they're coming out right now.
no, we're in the reservation queue. That means in theory they have stock for us, but we're lower on the queue. They're already shipping it out to some people. But let me specify. The console suffered from a GPU failure, according to Steam's guide for its LED displays. At first, it appeared the console was brick, but after leaving the system unplugged for a day, as some users suggested, BIOS stuff happened and the Steam machine came back to life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Oh,
not
okay.
completely bricked. It's just it ran into a GPU issue, shut itself down, went into a coma for a couple days, and then came back up. But it's also just a note that these things still happen. The red ring of death and the red line of death will haunt us forever.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, I know where it's on. It's on consoles. I haven't looked to see. I should check my consoles email more often to see where I am, to see if I've gotten my
Yeah. No, I've been checking. I
notification.
haven't gotten anything.
Yeah, but just because you haven't doesn't mean that I haven't.
I know. I was a little excited just earlier today when I opened my email and I saw an email from Steam support, but then I
Mm-hmm.
realized that was just the receipt for the games that I bought.
Yeah. Let's see. I should, yeah, that was stupid of me not to check my email on the more regular because I could have easily missed it.
Yeah, you will only have 3 days after the email sent out to make a decision.
Yeah, I gotta confirm your purchase. Thank for your Steam purchase. Join the list. Okay, no, nothing. Join the list. I got this on the 22nd.
So
Personalized
okay,
Steam
there
deals.
has been there has been an update on the PlayStation killing discs. I
Mm-hmm.
guess sent to GameFile. Sony has
Oh, I
clarified.
got it. I got it. Please confirm your purchase information. Here to complete your purchase. When did I get this? Oh shit, yesterday. I got mine.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Good thing you checked.
Yeah. I bought mine yesterday. Oh, do I have $1,000 to spend? I can't think about this right now.
Well, you have 2 days.
Today, I've till tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got it at 3:21 p.m. yesterday. So I'm just hitting my first 24 hours.
Okay.
Do I want to buy it?
That's up to you.
Ugh.
I want mine. Like I said, I bought games on the Steam sale with the intention of playing them on my TV.
Right before I go, fuck, this is the worst case scenario. Right before I go to New York. Shit.
Look, just have Chris buy it. He's got the money.
No way. Mm-mm. We're in love, but I don't trust him that much.
Sell one of your Steam decks to pay for it. Those things are already going for about $1,000.
True. I should do that, huh?
Sell
Okay.
sell your Steam Deck. Sell his ROG Ally that he doesn't even know exists.
I'm not stealing his rock ally to do that.
Not
All right.
stealing, selling.
Uh,
Yeah, so okay, the update to PlayStation. Sony clarified that developers will still be able to make discs for older games, and by that they mean any game that came out before the cutoff date. So
that's
any
what it
game
looks
that
like,
was
by the way.
released, what?
That's what it looks like, by the way.
Oh, click here to complete your purchase. Okay, I'll remember that. What's the name of the email?
The name of the email
The title.
is,
Oh, please confirm purchase of your Steam machine. Okay, I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for that.
and now you know the email of my consoles. It's not that big a deal. I never
No,
check it.
I didn't even look at that.
Yeah.
But so any game released in 2027 can still be manufactured on a disc after 2028. So any game that comes out on disc now is still going to be in the process. They're still going to
Norway
come out with
scored.
discs. Oh,
Norway
in
scored.
2028 onward. It's just that any game released after that cutoff date is not going to have discs. So it's kind of all retroactive, but nothing going forward. So I think people freaking out now don't need to be freaking out because any game that comes out on disc this holiday or all of next year is still going to have discs available. Like you don't need to rush out now and pay $30 for the Saboteur. Like wait, wait for like the hysteria to kind of calm down a little bit and then start rebuilding your library.
Or just buy Saboteur now.
Or just do it now. Sure.
Damn it. I'm still looking at that email.
It's in the back of your head now.
The fact that also Norway scores just as I noticed that thing is there.
I mean, we want Norway to win.
I
This
do
is
want
good.
to know them. It is
Yeah.
very good.
If you had gotten
Mm.
the controller version, I would offer to buy it off of you because
Yeah, I don't.
I need the controller.
Yeah. Oh, you don't need the controller. You can use any controller with it.
No, I want the controller.
Okay.
Fuck that. I can use a PlayStation controller with a Steam console. What kind of monster do you think I am?
This kind of monster right here.
And then AC Rate says, I got the Saboteur for $5 on Steam.
Yeah, I bought it for $5 on Steam as well.
So yeah, that was the last update. Kojima feels, quote, really sad about PlayStation killing discs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Epic Games CEO argues AI could have made Destiny profitable. Tim Sweeney, just shut the fuck up. Shut your goddamn mouth. You're not making people like you.
Damn it. I have to put my phone down and don't let me look at it. If you see me
Okay.
looking down, yell at me because I'm just staring at that email trying to decide if I really want to do this right now.
Oh, I'm looking at good news.
Mm-hmm.
Onimusha Way of the Sword moved
Mm-hmm.
up its release date. So instead of releasing at the end of September, at the same time as Silent Hill Townfall and Control Resonant, it's releasing at the beginning of September.
Mm-hmm.
And I think then it will only have to compete against Blood of Dawnwalker.
Ooh,
The goalie.
goalie took a shot to the face. Norway's goalie just took a shot to the face.
Hey, that's what they're paid for.
That's right.
Lock the ball.
That's why they pay them the big bucks. If your goalie is good looking, it means he's not doing a very good job.
Yeah. Oh, but I will say too, Blood of Dawnwalker, the game coming from the people that used to work on The Witcher 3, they put out like an 8-minute gameplay demo on IGN. Didn't look particularly good.
Really?
It's like, oh, this mission is kind of boring.
All right.
So
Anything else before we close out the show? Because we have been going for two and a half hours, and also, I kind
you
of
want
want
to
to
see the
watch the
game?
end of it. I want to watch the game.
Yeah. We got 4
And
minutes left.
prevaricate if I want to spend $1,000, I don't really have easily available right now.
Sell that Steam machine. I mean, Steam Deck.
Steam Deck. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to sell the Steam Deck.
Sell both the Steam Decks.
No, I need one of them, especially if I have a Steam machine.
Yeah, that's true.
So, all right. Anything else before we close out the show, Nick? Next week, let's go over calendar just real quick.
Yeah. The 19th you're gonna be off, right?
Right, the 19th and the 26th. So, next week is the last show we will have. We will be dark, it seems like, for the next 2 weeks after that. So the 12th is going to be the last time we talk before.
I'll try to like play a VR game during that time.
Okay, that'd be good. And yeah, the 19th
Depends
and the
like
26th
what the
will
heat
be
is.
off. So we're going to have a show on the 12th of July, and then we're going to have a show on the 2nd of August. And that's it. So, all right. Anything else? Oh, by the way, what are you going to play this week? I'm going to try and continue. Hey, go into Discord. If you have a suggestion of something that I should play on the Steam Deck,
Mini Shoot Adventures.
I'm going to download Mini Shoot Adventures. I'm probably going to download UFO 50. But if you have any suggestions for games that I should play on the Steam Deck, especially if you know that they play well on the Steam Deck, because that has been the issue that I did buy a couple of games and they don't play well on the Steam Deck. So especially if you know something is really good on the Steam Deck, let me know. And you can put it in our Discord. Our Discord information is about to show up very shortly.
I can confirm.
Discord.
I beat Mini Shoot Adventures on a Rogue Ally, so it does play well on handhelds.
Oh, good. All right. So there you go. There's the Discord information. Please go to that Discord. Go into the general. or just do an @gamer Edie, and I will be able to see it. I'll get a notification it's there. I am going to be purchasing a bunch of. Oh, Norway scores again in the 89th minute.
Oh, you're ahead of me.
Am I?
Yeah, you said that, and I looked over just in time to see them
Yeah,
score.
yeah. I'm
Also,
watching
that
it
was like
live.
a clean shot. Like the goalie wasn't there.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's
AC Wraith in the chat. Union workers establish a hardship fund to support devs impacted by layoffs. Yeah, there was also some stories that Microsoft is not being very communicative with the studios that unionized under
oh,
it.
really?
That they're
What?
like,
I
we,
think
you know,
it's
we have not received any information. They're like, we're just as in the dark about everything as everyone else. They've not done any contact.
what a surprise. I mean, that doesn't surprise me in the least that
Yeah.
Microsoft would be particularly dickheadish to companies that had unionized.
After like using unions has a selling point to justify them purchasing Activision.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, Microsoft's gonna Microsoft.
Yeah.
So,
There were a couple. There's one game that I bought on the Steam sale called The Root Trees Are Dead
mm-hmm.
that I've heard is like a really, really awesome mystery deduction game that I'm really looking forward to playing.
Yeah, okay. All right. I might look into that. All
Yeah.
right.
So
On
I'm
that
I'm
note,
going to be playing that next week.
so we'll talk to you next week for the last time for a couple of weeks while I go do and spend more money than I should in places that I probably can't afford. That's what I do these days. So on that note, let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds episode 825. We recorded this on Sunday, July 5th, 2026. I've been Edie Sellers. With me has been Nick Dinacola. Ways to get a hold of us: gamehounds.net is our website, gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitch. On Facebook and Twitch, we are The Gamehounds. On YouTube, we're Gamehounds Vids, V-I-D-S, all one word, as in videos, Gamehounds Vids. We would love to have you join us live if you can next week, especially since that's going to be the last week for a couple of weeks. I'd love to see your bright, shiny faces show up in the chat room. Speaking of the chat room, thank you again to AC Wraith. Everything that we mentioned on this show is in the comments, no matter where you watched it. AC Wraith keeps us honest and provides all the source information of the stuff that we talked about. So if
Even
you're ever
the bets
interested,
we make.
yeah, even the bets we make, he keeps track of it. He is the best of us. So if you are ever interested in anything that we said and can't find any additional information on it, go to the comment section on any of those locations. You will find a link for it. If you want to listen to the show after the fact, you can. Well, first off, you can always go to any of those places to watch us on video. But if you would like to hear us as a podcast in your car or wherever you can listen to it in your ears, go to Apple Podcasts or any other location where you would normally find podcasts. Look up Gamehounds Podcast. And if you do listen to us there, please leave us some feedback. By the way, if you're on any of these places, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever, leave us some feedback. Hit, first off, subscribe. Dears, please subscribe. It makes a world of difference to Nick and me, especially for the longevity of the show. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave us some feedback, especially on the audio podcast, because we've a lot of people that have listened to us for many, many years that don't know that we're still going on because we had a fairly large gap in our podcast posting or uploading. So yeah, leave us feedback. It makes a huge difference with the algorithm. Also, if you ever want to, drop us a little bit of extra cash to help us stay on the air, so to speak, on the virtual air, think about becoming a patron. Patreon.com / Gamehounds. Leave us $1 a month is all we ask to help pay for the things that we do and help offset our costs. Have a great week, everyone. We will talk to you next week. Take care and see you soon. Bye. everyone. Have a great week. We will talk to you later. I am going to go. Okay, Norway's in the 94th minute. There was 7 minutes of stoppage time. So we've got, well, we're at 94 and a half. So we've
Yeah,
got
they
just a
totally
few
must
minutes
have
left of the game.
won this. They totally got this in the bag.
Well, we've seen a lot of goals. I mean, things can happen. It is football, aka
Encore,
soccer.
post show.
Hey!
Time for the post show.
No, we're not doing a post show. But I am going to watch Norway and then clean up around here and then probably buy a steam machine.
I'm jealous.
it.
I want mine.
Damn it.
I
Damn
want
it.
mine now. All you
Damn it.
people, like I said, shit'll get off the pod. Come on.
Damn
I
it.
want to get to the queue. I want to play my PC games on my
Well,
TV.
they're happening. Damn it.
Now the question you have to ask yourself is, if not for this podcast, would you have checked that email?
No.
Would you have been upset if you looked at it and realized, oh, I missed my chance?
No. I would have been upset, but I sort of wouldn't. I would have been like, it's probably for the best because it was coming at the wrong time, 2 weeks before I leave for New York.
Especially if you see it after, like if you checked
Right
it
after,
next week.
Right after I paid for rent.
Mm.
I know. I'm gonna buy it.
I want out of force obsolescence so I don't have to consider new hardware.
By the way, I don't know if you saw that there is a big lawsuit that happened. It started on the 2nd in France. Planned obsolescence for Epson that is going to affect a lot of companies. They're actually being held
For what is?
Planned obsolescence is criminally illegal in France, and Epson printers have a thing where they only print a certain amount of pages and then they break. And Epson said that it is for safety reasons because there is a little sponge in there that picks up excess ink. And if they don't do that, they say that there is a risk to the machine getting gummed up with ink. And moreover, because it's near electrical outlets and because they're afraid that, like wherever things are around, you could have like property damage and or electrical fires, which is bullshit. But that's what they're saying. So they do it for safety reasons. It's not planned obsolescence. It's safety. So that is a lawsuit going on. It's not just a lawsuit. It's actually a criminal trial going on in France right now for planned obsolescence. Yeah, I heard about that last night.
The companies care. These companies deeply love their consumers and they're just watching out for our best interest. And we should always do what they ask because they know better. They take care of us. Now go spend $1,000 for a thing you don't need.
I am.
The post show is just watching Edie agonize.
Where do I want to send it? Do I want to send it here? I don't want to send it here because things can go missing here. I think I'm going to send it to Chris's house. Well, it depends on
old
when
link.
It gets
oh,
shipped.
That was from 2017. Hey, see, we had put a link for a landmark case against HP and Canon for 2017.
No, that's a very old link.
But we're just back here. We're back here again almost a decade later.
Yeah, there's also the issue of this might get delivered, while I'm in New York.
Oh, yeah. So you probably want to have it delivered to a locker, right? If it's delivered to your apartment, then won't it go into one of those concierge lockers?
Yeah, it does. But sometimes those lockers get full and they just drop stuff on the ground.
Ah, yeah, you don't want to do that.
And there have been thefts. There have been thefts, a lot of thefts recently from our locker room.
Okay. You can send it to me. I promise I won't open it. I will protect it for you. I really will.
Should I?
Like if you're genuinely worried, then I can take a package for you. Like, that's not difficult.
Okay.
You
I'm gonna do
live
that.
like 5 minutes away.
I know.
It's
I know.
yeah, it's
Trust
easy
me,
to drop
as
things
I'm
off.
writing it in, I'm thinking to myself, I really should have this sent to Nick. But I
Yeah,
don't know if I
no.
trust you not to crack it open and start playing
I'm
it.
not gonna crack it open because I want my console. I don't want
Okay.
your console. I want
All right.
mine.
And I know you're gonna get one. Oh, penalty kick. Oh, Brazil scores on a
Oh,
penalty kick. So now it's 2-1 in the 99th minute.
I'm just seeing
And
a
of
close up
course,
of the Brazil guy looking very serious.
and look,
Now he's
the
taking the kick.
longest, slowest kick. He
He
truly,
does.
I mean, it was a little league kick. And he's just like, I got you. He just timed it perfectly where he was off balance.
Yeah. Bartender says, "What's the point of physical video games when most of them require you to update and download before you even get to play?" Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Nick, I'm going to send it to you, but I don't want you to announce your address on the air. So I will wait until after we're off.
2285 Springfield Avenue.
It's not where you live.
No, Evergreen Terrace, Springfield, Illinois.
No, it's not where you live. Everybody, that's not where Nick lives. All right,
Great show.
everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bartender Say. We will talk to you next week. By that point,
Yes.
I may even have a Steam Deck. Who knows? Depends on how they send it to me.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Always happy to be here.